Hey guys, and welcome to our very first ever Total War Warhammer 3 King of the Hill. Should be a good fun time. We've got quite a few players lined up and raring to go, and we're going to be kicking stuff off in the most sexy of all styles, a Slaanesh mirror match on Broken Leg Gully. Certainly should be some good fun. So we've got Stefan06 taking on Stormrunner in game 1. We then have Vatek, Ronin, Ducklin, Ninrob, and A-Move all on the list to play, with Ice Power and Consular Rome waiting in the wings in case anyone drops out or any of that glorious stuff. Should be a good fun time. We're simply going to rotate through the map, so I will pick them at my whim. And yeah, it's going to be good fun. It's pretty simple rules. You cannot play the same faction twice. The king picks one faction and bans one faction. They can ban factions as many times as they want. For example, if you don't really like playing ogres, you can ban ogres every single game, if that is kind of, your main wish. Apart from that, yeah, Iron Blast is limited to 1, and it's standard ranked rules. Let's quickly check that I've actually set everything up properly. I'm not sure if I have. Yep, unit caps are on. Perfect stuff to see. So should be good fun. Broken Leg Gully is the most basic of maps. Quite easy one to start us off with, as it is basically just 3 lanes that you push through. And boy, oh boy, does it feel good to have multiplayer lobbies back. We can now host King of the Hills, tournaments, and all that good stuff. I was quite late, unfortunately, to getting a video out today, so I decided, you know what, we'll just do a King of the Hill live stream instead, and we can give you guys some glorious live action. What's up, people? What's up, party people? Scarbrand is here. Ravens are Nerob the Clown, soon to be Nerob the King when he takes the battle in this King of the Hill. So do us as well, the mighty, the mythical, the pizza-loving Italian Ronin. We have Sloth here as well, and Real Human Being. Hey, 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 long time no see, Ducky. How's it going? It's going all good, bud. All good. I'm very excited to delve into some glorious King of the Hill action. Again, this stream will be a little bit shorter than normal, just due to stitches basically being in my back, and I can't kind of sit down for too long. So we've got, 6 or 7 games basically in store, which still should be a pretty decent length stream, and certainly some good fun. We are starting to stream it a little bit earlier than usual. I'm expecting, it to pick up as the time it does progress. Unfortunately, though, there has been a hotfix which allows us to host multiplayer lobbies, which is the main thing, in fairness. It is the priority. We don't have chat boxes and stuff, so we are having to use Discord to chat to the players. But it should be all good fine. They can just kind of ready up when they want to, which is what I like to see. It is what I like to see. So let's just double check the list for you guys. Make sure everyone has it in order of when they're going to be playing. So I'm assuming the guys who are waiting to play are going to be watching as well. So let me get that juicy list up. And it is going to be... Oh God, scrolling through so many messages right now to get to it. Where is it? There it is. Stefan, Stormrunner, Vatek, Ronin, Ducklin, Nerob, and A-Move. And there's also Ice Power, who may replace Ronin, depending on Ronin's internet, as he said he's been having problems with it for a little while. And Mr. Consular Rome as well, who'll be able to come in and fill out the ranks of Roman legions to take fight up against the evil forces of, no doubt, the demons. We're going to see quite a bit. But, yeah, gotta wait for these guys to pick their armies. I think we can have a little look at the armies. Not too worried about people's screen cheating or anything like that. And it'll be quite interesting to see how crazy they go with the builds. They're both 2 very different builds, that's for sure. That is for sure. Going to be pretty interesting stuff. I like doing this a little bit as well because you can actually see reinforcement armies, which is something I hope they will add eventually to people casting in spectator slot. There you can kind of open up a tab and see what people have in reserve. But basically a load of cavalry is going to be my main opinion in this matchup. I feel like mass cav's going to be the way. A load of cheap cav in the 600 variety, which are these glorious... Let's have a little look at the beasties down below. These ones here, Hellstriders of Slaanesh, are just so cost effective. They are so juicy and cost-effective, particularly in this matchup where you're expecting a lot of large threats. But I wouldn't also mind seeing some more elite cavalry just to mix it up and hopefully go toe-to-toe with the enemy where at all possible. Where at all possible. Awesome. Looks like Stefan is ready. Just wait on Mr. Storm. I'm already up, so once they're ready up in game, we can hop in and get down and dirty. Get down and dirty with the first action of the day. Who's your money on, boys? Do you want to see Stormrunner, an old legend of the channel of Clan DBD, scrapping out, or Stefano06, who is soon to be a DBD member himself, coming to war? Will there be the final rounds of Sons of Mountain versus Aimer? Honestly, the streams just died because no one wanted Warhammer 2 action. I still have the last couple of games. I will probably stream them at some point. It may be on Twitch, however, instead. I'm not sure, but we probably will. Yes, we probably will still see the end of that clan war. It's unfortunately been put on the back burner because I got some unexpected early access, which then kind of dominated my my YouTube time. What's up, true king of 8 peaks? Hope you're all good and just being a true king, as always. Quack, quack, Mr. Sedane! How's it going, man? Hope you're all good in the hood. Hope you're all good. Leon, you cheeky lad. Oh no, what did Leon do? Oh, Leon, come on, buddy. I know Slaanesh is on screen, but you can't be a Slaanesh bot right now. You can't do it to us. There is no chatting game option, Gizmo. It's very annoying. It was in there as well. Unlike some of the early access stuff. I don't know why it got taken out. I think they're looking to improve it and change it slightly. So it will be here, just not here at the moment. Eldrin of the Mist, the king of Mist and Shadows himself. How are you doing, man? We're all good over here. Raring to go, kicking off our first game in our first Total War Warhammer 3 King of the Hill. It is Domination style, 1 Iron Blaster limit. You cannot play the same faction multiple times. That is it. No need for any more annoying rules, which is certainly very useful. For the forces of Slaanesh, I should say, and Stormrunner, who is going under the name of the Pineapple Conqueror, looking to take on Ronin in hand-to-hand combat, it would seem. We have a pretty interesting build. So he's gone relatively heavy in the infantry force, which is a decent idea, right? Because you have so many spear units to help mitigate the enemy formations and enemy cavalry where possible. We also have some of the cheeky whips in the middle. Not only will they be whipping the enemy, they will be whipping themselves into a blood frenzy. We do have Nakari as the main lord. Nakari does look a little bit funny. I do prefer the Exalted Lords stylistically than Nakari, but still a very frewsome beast indeed. Coming in with Will and Prey, the Wit Stealer Sword, as well as Acquiescence. And yeah, we've got the Pavilion of Slaanesh, as well as the pin there. So going quite heavy there with a large amount of spells. We also have some Furies up in the skies. It looks like 2 of those bad boys. It looks like for Stefano, which is the red Slaanesh, is probably how we're going to differentiate. It's the blue and red Slaanesh here. A far smaller force. I'm sure there's stuff hiding in the wings. So yeah, a little bit more traditional. We've got a little Hellstriders, very popular. Probably the most popular unit in the Slaanesh roster right now. So 2 Hellstriders on the left, none on the right. And in the main force, it is a juicy single unit of Marauders of Slaanesh. These are the basic combat variety, so no anti-large spears on them. We have a Soul Grinder who is anti-large. I actually quite like this Soul Grinder. It can certainly do some decent damage. As you can see here, gets a nice bonus versus large rather than being anti-large. Also does apply a bit of debuff on the enemy. And we have Nakari once more. So Nakari mirror match to see who once and for all is the true Nakari. Will and Prey, of course, and the Wit Stealer Sword. We have the Lash of Slaanesh, which is an interesting choice, and once again the Rampage there and the pen. Pretty cool stuff. Who is your money on? Who is your money on, boys? I reckon Slaanesh most likely will win. Yeah, I know. Nice early mirror match to kick us off. Yeah, I'm not even trying to pronounce the Phantasmagoria or whatever it's called. I'm leaving that one to your imaginations. I actually really like the fact we have some Furies being summoned in by Stormrunner and the blue Slaanesh here, just to rear charge the enemy. Infantry fight's definitely going to go its way. The double spears will help, of course, up against the enemy Nakari. The Soul Grinder, though, has 90 armor, and those spears don't have the greatest AP, so it's not going to be the best time combating them. And we are going to get the old whip come down, cha, on top of the Marauders of Slaanesh. But I absolutely love it. That's what they're here for. We also have some a more spread out formation, it seems, coming in by Storm and the blue troops as they do move infantry over on to the objectives. The ones on the left-hand time going to have a bad time against Hellstriders, though I believe Furies don't count as large. I think they're infantry size, so rear attacking the Hellstriders would be quite a nice play there. Looks like the main fight is almost getting underway. We have the Soul Grinder pushing forward here. And it is going to be whipping back and forth, sending Marauders of Slaanesh going left and right. And in comes Nakari as well. And it looks like Storm's Nakari, they've turned their back. They're not even worthy of the true Nakari, who doesn't really want to take this fight on there. Looks like they may be getting pinned in place here. Oh, this is so nasty. We get the pin in, and now the Soul Grinder and Nakari of Stefano and the red Slaanesh can move forward and take them on 2v1, which would be really awesome with Will and Prey going down as well. I love this little bait and trap here. Looks like Stefano did summon some Fiends of Slaanesh, which I don't like that much because there's a lot of spears on the field, and yeah, they're getting ripped apart by Furies and Marauders of Slaanesh. So a bad early summon, unfortunately, coming in from the red Slaaneshis, but of course they've had good engagements as well with the Soul Grinder and Nakari beating the living snot out of the Nakari of the blue Slaanesh, although it looks like the Seekers are on return, and we do get a pin, but it misses with the Soul Grinder and Nakari able to escape the wrath there, and that's some quite lovely escapage. For sure. Now, it seems like the Pineapple Lord himself, the mighty Stormrunner, is rotating some Marauders and Spearmen back into the middle, and all of his forces actually coming into the middle, so abandoning Objective 3 and 1, both these players fighting over the central objective, and it seems like Stefano's forces have taken considerable beatings. My god. Fiends of Slaanesh being forced back, as well as the Hellstriders. You can see the gold damage value there. Stormrunner is considerably ahead and gets a really, really nice engagement. Nakari to Nakari. And it seems like the Seekers of Slaanesh able to bog down the Soul Grinder. And my god, did the Force Nakari get dealt with here? He's been slowed down as well. Nakari is a speed demon looking to bring death, carnage, and destruction. Stefano needs some light cavalry or anything, really. He's got Fiends back here. Hellstriders, move them in and save your own Nakari and force Storm to overextend his. He's really gunning for that kill, but it seems like Stefano will be able to save his Liege Lord and come flooding in with Hellstriders, though it does seem like the Soul Grinder is likewise getting very beat up. Huge damage advantage so far coming in by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Stormrunner. A little bit of lag, unfortunately, as Nakari does start to fall back there. Marauders of Slaanesh will be popping forward with some Hellstriders. Objective have been completely forgotten. Objective 3, Objective 1, no one gives a damn about them. They're fighting for the name of their glorious Slaaneshi god and all of the perverted grandioso of war. It seems like Hellstriders of Slaanesh are just getting bogged down, really, amongst spear units. The early infantry push coming in from Stormrunner's Blue Slaanesh has been a really kind of inspired pick here, as we see one Soul Grinder does indeed go down, and Inkari is just hot on the heels of the enemy Stefano's Inkari, and if he can slow him down with any, like, faction ability or spell, he will be dead. And it looks like we do get an Acquiescence go down, lowering his speed by 25%, and yeah, there's simply no way Stefano gets his Inkari out of this alive, I don't think. This is one of these fins is not like the other, but they're kind of just mirroring each other right now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's going to actually escape this, because Willem probably did get popped on Inkari, and he's actually going to have to fall back, not quite being able to catch his opponent off guard there. Look at this infantry dominance. Just so many Marauders on the battlefield. Marauders with spears as well. And the cavalry just can't really get good fights, unfortunately. This has allowed Seekers of Slaanesh to come onto the field from Stormrunner. Does not bother him with Objective 3 and 1 still at the moment. It does seem like Stefano's decided he has to, start getting some points before he gets too far behind and start capturing Objective 1 as quickly as possible. We do have more Hellstriders being summoned in by him as well to try and gain a bit of map mobility and control. Unfortunately, the Seekers do seek blood and fury, almost in the name of Khorne there, but of course they are doing it for Slaanesh, or at least they claim. They run down there, Hellstriders easily going to be able to escort them off the field. In the middle is just so dominant right now. We'll have to see if Storm can really kind of push that foot down even harder on Stefano's neck there and claim dominance completely, because the middle has become, yeah, a little bit grindy there, and it seems like he is now moving up the Marauders of Slaanesh to claim Objective 3. Enemy Inkari has been pinned in place, or we should say the red Inkari here, as Storm's lad does move in, and this is certainly going to be the end of the Inkari, and down he goes. Probably would have been better just getting him off the battlefield entirely. It is a bit of a trap, though. We have Hellstriders swarming around, and maybe a bit of an overextended moment here from Inkari, looking to pin him in place and surround him for good. However, we actually have a Cultist of Slaanesh on the battlefield coming in with the summon of Demonettes, which would be a lovely rear attack right here, and may be able to save Stormrunner's own Inkari, who's struggling to get out of this engagement, kind of pushed up here without too much help and support. Demonettes move in, and it looks like we are about to get the pin, and yeah, that's really lovely play. I love the animation of this as well, where you see like the giant fiends and Demonettes bouncing around. It's so freaking cool. And down the Marauders of Slaanesh go there, as the Demonettes start to push in, and Stormrunner's Inkari is able to escape away there from danger. So a pretty dominant early display so far. We do have Seekers as well as more Seekers whipping up and around to the back of Objective 1, as the Demonettes, though they are a summon, will still do some pretty horrific damage here and just chew their way through the enemy if they can get their grubby little claws and mitts on them. And hey, damage is damage at the end of the day. We also have more Marauders coming in, and a massive cav just swinging around from the middle engagement, popping into enemy deployment zone and wrapping up and around to kind of jump and try to grind down the enemy, and maybe even go for a cheeky triple cap here. Definitely when supported by Nakari, not the worst idea in the world. Hellstriders getting shattered on the approach, and I like the Cultist of Slaanesh play. Not something I've seen it terribly often. The Cultist of Nurgle and Khorne seem very popular, but it's cool to see them in action here. So Objective 1 is being fought over. It's currently being held by the red Slaanesh of Stefano. Middle is dominant though, and Objective 3, hey, Stefano, certainly not out of this yet by any means. Comes in with some Marauders as well as some Hellstriders, and is actually capping Objective 3 away from Stormrunner. Lovely play there coming in by the Mad Lad, who is currently on the back foot, losing a lot of troops when he brings them in as well. Look at that gold damage difference. 1,000 or 12,000 gold value compared to 7,600. Storm as well, stacking a lot of supplies. Maybe looking to save up for some awesome stuff. Yes, yes.
One of your units has been destroyed.
Slanesh Mirror is one that uses mobility and flank control for sure, but this map isn't really about that too much. This map is like so close. Nakari is obviously the most powerful of all the Nakaris. See, Felix, you're a man of class and culture. You certainly know what's up. So in the center, though, it looks like the force of Stefano has actually been able to engage Objective 1 and completely secure it in their name. Objective 3, though, it seems like Storm was able to kind of beat back the forces there with a Summon of Chaos Furies, as well as some Demonettes of Slanesh moving in, and he will be securing his home objective. You can see, unfortunately, Marauders as well as Hellstriders being driven away. I actually really like the Fury play so far by Stormrunner. They do some certainly deadly work. Down here in the low ground, Marauders of Slanesh are butchering Marauders of Slanesh. This is just good fun for everyone, particularly for Khorne, because he doesn't really care where the blood comes from. So seeing his rival Slanesh kind of fighting amongst his own troops is probably a good day for him. I really wish we get the Blood and Gore DLC soon, though, because I need the blood in my life. Looks like Objective 1 was eventually tiny bit being contested here by Stormrunner and the Blue Slanesh forces, but alas for them, they have been driven back. But still, Exalted Demonettes have been moved onto the control point with Nakari. They're doing a lot of damage, and all of the Hellstriders getting dragged down here. They've been charmed, been pinned by Torment Blade, as well as this glorious animation coming in. My god, that's all the cavalry going to be dead here. Now the poor Marauders of Slanesh are also going to get ripped and torn apart. And it seems like we may have a triple cap on the cards here. The center still been absolutely dominated by Stormrunners. He brings in more and more Demonettes. Objective 3 is being contested, but with the Furies here combined with the Demonettes, I don't know if the Hellstriders are realistically going to have too much of a chance of getting victory here, particularly with more reinforcements being poured on now. Seekers of Slanesh being summoned by Storm, and get a nice rear attack into the Hellstriders and drag them down. So a 2,000 to 1,200 ticket lead so far, and maybe even a relatively early triple cap. Marauders of Slanesh getting charmed once more and dragged down. I love the charmed effect coming in by the Exiled Demonettes. I think it means they have quite a lot of potential on the battlefield as they do move in to engage the enemy a little bit more. Marauders are fleeing to try to save their own skins there, and the Nakari still very, very healthy. At least for, this point of the battlefield, about half HP is not too bad. 2,800 or 2,900 tickets on the field for Storm, just waiting to bring in more elite troops. Objective 1 shall soon be his, and it looks like Nakari is just moving down into the middle as more Marauders move up to really wrestle control of Objective 1. Stefano is desperately trying to get his foot back into the game anyway. At this point, probably needs to sit back and just kind of make a massive army before going for a big push, because at the moment, with Slanesh being so fast, when you get behind against them, it's really hard to actually come back because they can jump on your reinforcements so quickly. We have double Marauders, just any infantry to try to pour onto that central objective to claim it and drag it back, get kind of a foothold back in the game for Stefano. And look at this, we just have Demonettes over here, more Marauders, Nakari just slapping up all the reinforcements of Slanesh, which of course isn't going to go too good there for Stefano and the red Slanesh forces. Marauders coming in for the surround. We also have the glorious Demonettes here. Not Exalted ones, unfortunately. The Exalted ones quite expensive and squishy. Doing some pretty cool animations, getting in there with the old crab claws, whipping their tails back and forth. I believe they do turn into whatever you desire, so don't always look like this. We also have more cavalry, the Seekers coming down here just to slam it into the enemy and really overwhelm at the central position, just sending units flying. And look at the bodies on the ground. My god, it has been a quite decent scrap here. Nakari's been surrounded a little bit. Needs to be careful. Always wants to fight amongst their own infantry, really, unless it's a single entity fight. Exotic Demonettes going to be charging in onto Marauders of Slanesh and hopefully dragging them down and helping to serve their Liege Lord, Nakari. But it is the dreaded triple cap. We have, it looks like, another Cultist Slanesh being summoned onto the field, as well as some more Marauders coming in from the forces of Stormrunner. And it's looking like it's basically game over at this point. I don't know what Stefano can do to get back into this. The damage value is simply too big a difference. 6,600 gold value difference there. Exotic Demonettes on the battlefield, slaughtering enemy infantry left, right, and center. And it seems like that is going to be a Subtle Torment. What a name for a faction. Stefano is going to throw in the towel there. GG's, well played. I actually thought he had a pretty decent start in army. Got a really good engagement on Stormrunner's Nakari early on. Pinned it in place and tried to isolate and kill it. But then the reversal happened and he got his Lord sniped. And from that point onwards, it was always a bit of an uphill fight there. Well played to these lads. Quite an inspired build by Stormrunner, actually. I'm loving the Fury opening with the heavy infantry core. 5,488 value for Nakari with 151 kills. That is pretty damn disgusting. The Furies, 98 kills, 1.4k value. Of course, the infantry is not going to get crazy value, just mid to high hundreds. But they pin the enemy in place and allow the Furies just to rear attack the Hellstriders, which are quite squishy themselves, and they were unfortunately overwhelmed there. We did get an Dolores. Unfortunately, she wasn't performing on the battlefield here. 940 value on the Exalted Demonator Snesh. Very impressive them. 2.9k on the Seekers. Oh my god. 550 value. Pretty decent across the board. I do like the Demonettes coming in to party and play. 1.5k value on the Nakari of the mighty Stefano there. The Soul Grinder only 520, just getting outmatched, unfortunately. And the Fiends, 660 value on them, 700, 400 on the Seekers. Just unfortunately, nothing really going to get insane value. The Hellstriders did okay, you know, I mean, 1.1k value certainly good, and so is 700, but they were summoned in multiple times to the battlefield. But GG's, well played, and we will be moving on now with Stormrunner being our first king. He will now get to pick and ban a faction. He, however, cannot play the same faction twice. Let's tap out the game and update the scoreboard, and then I'll get the next player in, and then we can come chill out with you guys in chat. But I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Was a good first cast to start off our day. But Stormrunner is the current king. And let's see who is up next. I believe it is Vatek. Vatek, you are up. Storm, I may message Storm. Storm to pick and ban one. You cannot play the same faction twice. Awesome. So let these guys do their pick and ban system, and we'll see, you know, what the deal is and what the party is. What do you guys think of that? Quack Quack, what's up, Lindsay? What's up, Kadane, Ronan, the Chads? Storming over 4,000 supplies at some point. Yeah, like, it's honestly not the worst idea just to stack supplies for a while. Like, just stack up supplies, wait to see what your opponent summons, and then just counter with all your supplies on them. Yeah, it's really funny, Pedro. Like, Sinesh ones are all about kind of, like, controlling maps and so forth. And then both players like bomb rush for the middle for the slaughter. I think what happened is Storm got like a bit of a better engagement early on. Like his Nakai took a lot of damage, and then he started dishing out a load of damage, and he realized he needed to overwhelm the middle. And then I think Stefano like panicked, but was like, oh my god, I'm losing my lord, and had to pour all those troops in to try to deal with the enemy. Oh, I played a Nurgle mirror on stream yesterday. It was actually amazing. It turns out it's legal to bring an exalted Great Unclean one plus 2 normal Great Unclean ones. It was fun. It was fun. That's what my opponent did. Yeah, I can imagine Kislev mirror matches being pretty brutal, though War Sleds will help you to that quite a bit. Advice on beating War Sled spam as Khorne? Yeah, you use your Warhounds and Furies, and he said they don't work too well. Use Fleshhounds for one. Fleshhounds and Furies, just to pin your enemy in place, basically. Let's go just to that screen so can't see their builds for now. It looks like it is Khorne versus Kislev. The mighty Khorne versus Kislev. Kislev are by far my favorite faction so far in the game. By far. I hope you guys are all doing well today. Getting ready for some awesome action. Bear spam is too mighty. Bear spam is pretty powerful. I do love the bear spam. Yeah, War Sleds, like, they're a little problematic for Khorne, but you've got a lot of issues. Basically, just pin them in with mass. And dominative infantry is the best way to go with Khorne. I really do think Fleshhounds are a solid answer to the War Sleds as well. I think Scarbrand's pretty good in this matchup for Khorne. Because he can kind of out-duel Boris, as well as Constantine. And also even fight the bears. You do want to support him with your own troops, though. Yeah, the Skull Cannon might not be the worst idea. As well, Sanders comes in and says against the War Sleds, it might be pretty solid. The thing with the Skull Cannon is it's best at like a medium range. Long range is pretty inaccurate. But I could certainly see that being a pick. I think that could do a number. Yes. Yeah, also just heads up for those contestants looking to play today. Demons Undivided are banned from this, obviously, for obvious reasons. They're incredibly OP. Because they're not meant to be balanced. They're like meant to be in balance with their lord. Being incredibly powerful. Let's go back onto chat, see what you guys are doing. Kislev shall burn, says Scarbrand. Scarbrand wants all the smoke. He wants all the blood. Skulls for the skull frame. What's up, Cat Morgan? How's it going, champ? Hopefully we get someone bringing an elemental bear for you. I owe you an elemental bear. We were going to play it on stream, but I think you'd gone back to work at that point. So I was like, we'll save it to you can witness it with your own eyes. Maybe tomorrow or something I'll do Actually, I think I'm busy tomorrow. Maybe over the weekend I'll do another ranked my player stream. When I do, I'll make sure you're there and we'll do an elemental bear showdown. Real Human Being, what's up, my dude? Thank you so much. Comes in with the fat $5 donation or £5 donation. Our classy Brit there. To beat Kislev or any faction, use 2 skull cannons. I've never lost a game with them, trust me. Interesting. Interesting. I would like to see some replays, Human Being, to back this up. I've seen many people lose with skull cannons, with double skull cannon. But maybe it will work. Maybe it will work. Skull cannons are very cool. They're pretty unique. And the fact they're decent melee combatants and they can recharge their ammo doing it. Skull cannons versus Kislev might be a shout against the war sleds. Might be a shout against the war sleds. I'd like to see it happen. Yeah, I mean, mass Chaos Warriors in general, Scott, is a good idea, just to cap objectives. War sleds will drag down infantry, though. They have to cycle charge, but they can do it. They can break the warriors. Is the main way you do it, basically, the war sleds, is you don't keep them in combat, you move them around. Basically like a pretty slow but very effective chariot. The one thing I'm really not looking forward to about all the new factions, or the old factions coming into the game, is going to be lion chariots. I think lion chariots are going to be disgusting. Real Human Being, just wait till I get the game. It'll be over for you Kislev players. Wait, so you've never lost a game, but you don't have the game. Big brain play. Big brain play. Oh, Little Grom. Yeah, Kadane. Or Sedane, sorry. I always forget how you pronounce your name. I always want to say Sedane. Little Glom counters skull cannons very effectively. It also counters iron blasters and lead belchers. Little Grom is amazing. He's a Skaven main, so be wary of the advice. Be wary of any Skaven player in general. And Slayer just comes in, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yeah, Real Human Being and Human Boy are the same person, regardless of how much they tell you they're not. They're just different accounts. And they're going to tell you I'm lying about that. And they would be wrong. They would be wrong. So up next after this, let us go back to the list. It shall be Ronin, so hopefully you are waiting in the wings, ready to bring death and destruction to your forces. Then have Ducklin, Nerob, and Amove. Should be some good fun. Bartek just saying he's ready in the Discord. Yeah, I can't wait for them to add the chat box in. It's going to be very useful in general. Everyone getting confused over Human Boy and seeing who he is. So it is Scarbrand versus Boris. It's the Scrap of Scraps. I quite like this starting build from Kislev. A couple of wall sleds with the bear cabin there, plus big boy Boris. Boris is one of the few who can kind of go toe-to-toe with Scarbrand, at least. Oh, I forgot to change the map. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, that's fine. We'll change map next time. I would like to blame... let's choose someone from chat. I would like to blame Cat Morgan for not reminding me. Sorry, Captain, I'm putting the blame on you. So for the forces of Storm, we have Scarbrand the Exiled. Yes, the wingless duck. As he goes to war. Pretty damn good melee combatant, probably the best in the game. We do have Exalted Bloodletters as well. What on earth is this? I basically never get to see Exalted Bloodletters in action. Flaming attacks, they have the Hellblade as well. When they get more than 80 kills, it increases their stats considerably. So chuck them against chaff in the early stages is quite a nice idea. We have Chaos Warhounds. We have more Bloodletters of Khorne and more Bloodletters. Oh my god, they can be so good against things like Skaven and Chaos Warhounds. Exalted Bloodletters versus Skaven is going to be gnarly. All these like chaff-heavy factions. As for the boys, we do seem to have a bit of a mistake here, unfortunately. Coming in by the Mighty Senor, as he's going by on Steam, which is Vatek. We have Boris, but he seems to be on foot. So we have foot Boris. I'm assuming this is a mistake, and he was meant to be on a bear. He is coming in nonetheless with the Fury of Urson. We have Foe Seeker, Deadly Onslaught, Shard Blade, all the goodies. Looking pretty badass, though. He looks like a Dynasty Warriors character, which is very badass. We do have one unit of Warbear Riders on the right-hand side. We have some Armored Kossars in the center and double light war sleds. Certainly some juicy stuff. Excited to see how this one goes. Very excited indeed. I bear the shame. I bear the shame. Are you a Skaven main as well? After I watched the Suicide Squad 2 movie, I fell in love with Ratcatcher and was like, I shall now be a Skaven main. But it did not last. It did not last. What's up, Mr. Zinski's Fortunes? How you doing, champ? A good captain always goes down with the ship, even if it's not his. Exactly. Cat Morgan just, like, floats out to sea now and again and, like, looks for a drowning ship, then stands on it just to be a Chad. Boris. Foot Boris. Look how thick and meaty this boy is. He's ready. Ready for a good old fat scrap. Bring your face to my axe, or more of a polearm in this instance. An icy polearm then. He's got a lot of armored troops. It's like the last march of Kislev. They look so freaking badass. Just pistols on the hip, waiting ready to go. Start popping some shots with the mighty. Look at their great weapons. They're freaking huge. Ready to crump some gits in the name of Kislev as Khorne does move up. Looking to claim this objective 3 in the early stages here, I think. Apply a little bit of pressure. Get Scarbrand up there, get the Exiled Bloodletters up there, get the Warhounds moving down the flanks. Only one unit of Bloodletters in the middle. It seems like Storm likes to go quite wide in the early stages and contest all the objectives and then use mobility to mix it up a little bit. Fortunately, a little bit of lag here. Looks like these guys... Okay, they're only walking, okay, so it makes it slower than the... That's not actually lagging that badly. Oh, look at them, though. The swag of the bears. Oh, it's so badass. I love this game so much. It looks so freaking cool. Bears are now going to start running and rotating over towards Objective 1, it would seem. Maybe giving up on the middle a little bit? No, it looks like the rest of his infantry forces are still pushing. Still pushing to mid. A little bit of a slow start here as both players jockey for position a bit and just move forward. Anyone else play the Kislev campaign just to unlock Boris the Chad? I just had someone send me a save file of them just before they did that quest so I could unlock Boris early because I needed it at the time to make some content. I am looking to do a Kislev campaign. Would you guys be interested in me doing a campaign on Livestream? I thought doing the Something Rotten in Kislev campaign for a one-shot could be quite good. Light War Sleds starting to drive forward. These Bloodletters need to be careful. There's a big potential they just get jumped here and shut down by the Light War Sleds. There's basically nothing Khorne can do about it from their current position. The rest of their forces are a little bit far out wide. We do have the Warhounds really waiting right in the wings right now, so they can't even come over and assist. Light War Sleds definitely want to be getting aggressive and just moving into combat with the Bloodletters and running them over. At the moment, they're kind of sitting back a little bit and pistol whipping them from afar. Scarbrand is moving up with the Exiled Bloodletters, waiting for them to commit so he can try to cut off their retreat. They could simply continue to move and then move back up and around, though there has been a pretty good summon coming in by Storm here, which is going to be the Skull Crushers of Khorne moving into action, riding beasts of flesh, anger, and metal sewn together in the dark arts of chaos. They're going to be quite useful for pinning in enemy war sleds and in general enemy cavalry as well. Warbears are brought to battle as the mighty Scarbrand moves in to just push away the light war sleds and help protect his boys at the Bloodletters. Everything again nice and aggressive, and once again we can see Storm likes to go wide early on and then move in. The Warhounds floating around the back, looking to perhaps jump on top of the light war sleds. Unfortunately get engaged with Warbears instead. Big breath attack comes down the line there by Scarbrand, opening up the way for the Exiled Bloodletters to get in there and just start cleaving asunder their opposition. Although it does look like Scarbrand is going to have to fall back from the might of the light war sleds. Allows infantry to get in there and do the work. We also have more Chaos Warhounds abounding towards the front. Light war sleds moving into hand-to-hand combat now. Going to be running over the Exiled Bloodletters with deadly efficiency. Warbears do fend off the Warhounds without taking much of a scratch, and are now going to jump in and try to isolate this unit and really drag them down as much as possible. Bloodletters take quite a few pistol shots on the approach. They should have no trouble, though, dealing with the armored Kossars, as a double Bloodletters against one unit is going to go pretty well for them. But there is some light Kossar spears raining shots in and just trying to whip them down from range. In come the Skull Crushers of Khorne. Scarbrand as well charging in, going absolute full chub, looking to drag down the light war sleds as quickly as possible, slamming it into the side and also rampaging them. That is so huge. Rampaging the light war sled is such a good counter to them. Boris is trying his damnedest. He does pop the shard blade in, and in comes the Warbears, trying to counter-punch as quickly as possible. Very messy fight here in the middle, and Kislev has actually done more damage so far than Khorne, despite some good initial engagements by Khorne. The light war sleds may be going down. Warbears, they don't give a damn about no petty greater demon. Boris just bam, 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 slapping Skarbrand to within an inch of his life. Skarbrand, I believe, did also rampage himself there, and Chad Boris pointing up at Skarbrand. You are nothing but a heretic before the might of the glorious motherland. Slaughtering Skarbrand here. And yeah, Skarbrand is not having a good day with the double Warbears doing some pretty decent damage to him. Boris has also taken a lot of damage, but it looks like the Bloodlayers have been forced off. Skull Crushers, they don't want to mess with the Warbear Riders. They're the true Chads of the universe. And Skarbrand, tail between his legs, flees before the might of Foot Boris. Light War Sleds are alive. They are going to be falling back here. Bloodlayers carve their way through the Armored Corsairs. We have a load more infantry starting to come into action. Chaos Warhounds, yeah, they're going to get jumped by the Light War Sleds and dealt with rather comfortably. Skull Crusher is going to do a rather swift retreat, and it looks like Skarbrand is actually going to get completely dragged off the battlefield here by Storm. He doesn't want him engaged in combat whatsoever. The Exiled Bloodlayers fights alongside Fleshhounds, attempting to drag down the Warbears, but Fleshhounds count as large, so the Warbears are easily going to just butcher the Fleshhounds here rather quickly. I'd love to see a Patriarch move up in here to get the heal in. Looks like the Patriarch did move in. I don't think we got a heal, though, unfortunately. And now the Patriarch is surrounded by Skull Crushers of Khorne. So damage value-wise is relatively close. It's been a good start by Kislev, though. They do have the advantage in that aspect, though they are falling behind ticket-wise. Middle objective is in the favor of Khorne, but Kislev should be able to move up and claim it, you would think here. They're also summoning up some more Armored Corsairs to move on to Objective 1 and claim that lovely little objective there. Light War Sleds going to be kited back. Skull Crushers are absolutely fine, particularly with the support of a Patriarch there. And Chadfoot Boris has been giving it to the enemy all day so far. Warhounds, though, are eventually going to be dragging down the Warbears. A mixture of them, Fleshhounds, plus just the Exotic Bloodlayers. They're no joke. 45 melee attack right now is pretty scary stuff, and maybe the Warbears will be going down here. So they managed to win that early middle fight, but at what cost? And now there's a load more gold in reserve as well for Stormrider to try to counter the enemy, and the Bloodlayers are doing a fantastic job just carving their way through many of the brave sons and daughters of Kislev, who are dying unfortunately on the snowy plains as Bloodlayers, yeah, just decapitate them and drag them down rather comfortably. Boris is giving it a go. In the middle here, supported by one last Warbear Rider, but he is surrounded by a lot of enemies right now. Lovely swinging animation, decapitating many a demon, sending them back to the hell pit from whence they were spawned, and his loyal Warbears fighting to the bitter end as we have more Corsairs moving up and light war sleds. But the pressure from Khorne is pretty relentless. More Chaos Warhounds bumping in to the back line, and despite the fact he's suffered a little bit more damage, though not much now, he is catching up pretty quickly from Khorne and lost his Lord. He still has Kislev pinned back in their deployment zone, although they are now starting to push out a little bit on the flanks, which is certainly a good way to go. And yeah, spamming in Fleshhounds and Warhounds here will eventually start costing Khorne a little bit, as they won't really be able to get too much value, particularly with Boris in the middle, just dispatching hounds left, right, and center. Then the Corsair infantry is getting dragged down. The light war sleds up to 70 kills so far, and 24, not bad whatsoever. The Supreme Patriarch of the mighty Kislev is showing some kind of a religious symbol to try and get rid of these demons. Don't know if that's going to work too well. It's actually getting dragged down a little bit by the Skull Crushers, who have a really decent armor piercing and should be able to drag down the Patriarch, at least you would hope there. Sorry about a little bit of lag there. I think normally I lag with Stormrunner, unfortunately, when we're both in the same lobby. It seems to happen quite a bit. So it's probably not Mr. Senor here. Senor, though, does seem to be taking quite a lot of damage right now, as he does some decent damage, though, back, I guess, to the Skull Crushers. And is that what I think it is? It is Little Grom. I love Little Grom. He's on action now, up to 10 kills after just one volley. There's some hell dogs trying to get back here. They ain't going to stand a chance against the might of Little Grom, who can now be used to counteract the Chaos Warrior Corner Halberds and just eviscerate them. And look at the big damage coming in. It looks like Storm saved up all his money to get Skarbrand back. You thought he was gone, but like the Undertaker, he's back, baby. Looking to charge in, and he is eager for bloodshed and carnage. Trying to get back in here and hopefully dish out the pain. Unfortunately for him, Little Grom's actually going to counter Skarbrand really well. If you can pin in Skarbrand, Little Grom will do decent damage to him. Objective 1 has been secured by Kislev now. Objective 2, though, is still in favor of the mighty Stormrunner, who is catching up considerably on gold damage value. He's only about 800 gold behind now, and he's got Scarbrand back on the pitch, and he's now got the double cap up against the enemy. More Chaos Warhounds and more Chaos Warriors of Khorne have been summoned into action. Scarbrand is currently vibing, just moving a little bit left and right, waiting for the opponent to strike, kind of sitting back and chilling. Now, Boris can be held up, of course, by the Patriarch. A little Grom is raining shots down, going after the Chaos Warrior Halberds. Not a bad idea, because a player of Storm's quality will probably just juke back and forth with Scarbrand, but it's not bad. You know, still lace a couple of shots at him, keep his micro honest. Light War Sleds are moving in. They need to be careful. This unit on the left, less so, but the weakened unit can be rampaged by Scarbrand, and that's just a dead unit of Light War Sleds there. He's going to countercharge into the Light War Sleds as well, get a big hit in there, throwing his axe into the back of one of the War Sleds, and driving it from the battle. We have Chaos Warriors of Khorne moving down, as well as Chaos Warhounds. Though it looks like some Warbears have once again been summoned by Kislev. Fighting happening all across the battlefield at the moment, which is good to see. Light War Sleds will be ramrodding into the Chaos Warriors of Khorne, doing some relatively decent work as Corsairs move up. Little Grom still focused on the Halberds, which I guess getting rid of the enemy infantry isn't too bad of an idea. And the Patriarch needs to be careful here. Boris, he's done a number on Scarbrand once today already. He is up to an impressive 2,000 gold value, but taking on Scarbrand twice might be a step too far, even for the Tsar of Tsars. Unfortunately, a bit of friendly fire. Little Grom kills one of their own Light War Sleds there, which certainly isn't good news for them. And Kislev, once again, is going to be falling back away from Scarbrand, but they are losing the objectives right now. We do have some Armored Corsairs doing a sneaky attempt to capture the mid, but with Bloodletters of Khorne being summoned, I think that is a ill-fated venture. Chaos Warriors have managed to pin some Light War Sleds up here on the flanks. Warbear Riders have been brought into action. They definitely want to be used to try and hunt down Scarbrand right now. We are seeing a big... Oh my god! Oh my god! Fire! Fire! Blood, skulls, and fire. The Armored Corsairs take massive damage and then eat a charge. Not good news for them. And we get the Rampage. The big Rampage goes down. Boris already in a blood frenzy. The Rampage means nothing to him, as if he would run from such a puny challenge as Scarbrand. He's going to pop the Shard Blade, and he's going to go ham. All his buffs have been activated, and he is going after Scarbrand now. So we're getting a nice little bit of slow motion. Light War Sleds will be going down. Patriarch, unfortunately, rampages in the wrong direction. We do have Cossar support, though. Warbear Riders need to whip around here and cut off Scarbrand's retreat. And we have even more Warbears once again being resummoned. Both these players just summoning heavy hitters more than going for the cheap and cheerful units that we're used to seeing. Warbears are rampaging. They do not care. Scarbrand is unfortunately going to be rampaging himself and very nearly going down there. That was not a good engagement for him. Boris, 2 out of 2, forcing back Scarbrand. And now Little Grom can focus down the mighty Scarbrand as we have Light War Sleds finishing off Bloodletters. And Kislev do need to be careful. They need to start pushing the middle objective before they get too far behind here. Damage value wise, they're doing fantastic. They're above Khorne. But yeah, they need to get onto these objectives rather quickly now. Because as you can see, Khorne is fighting like ahead of the objective. Oh, Little Grom doing so much work to Scarbrand as he retreats there and stopping the Kislev forces from getting on here. So we need to see Armored Corsairs move on to the objective. The Light Corsairs move on to the objective and just start capping it. Even if it costs you blood for Kislev, you have to do it to get those objectives. Otherwise, you'll lose the game. Scarbrand's doing a pretty decent job here, hunting down the Light War Sleds, doing some decent damage to them as they do kite and fall back. Warbears have been summoned multiple times, just forcing off Flesh Hounds. It's quite a nice counter to those dirty little corn dogs. As more War Riders move into the middle. We actually have 3 units on the battlefield right now. They're quite beat up, but the Patriarch may be able to heal them up. And it looks like the center, for the first time, is now starting to be taken by the forces of Kislev. We have some Gorbeast chariots being summoned, which is going to be a good answer to the infantry. Terrible answer to the Bear Riders, though, who can certainly move in here. And their Warbears are a little bit beat up, but even just a few Warbears, if they're able to pin in the Gorbeast and sustain combat, will be able to overwhelm them and take them down. And Boris Urson laughing at Scarbrand as he starts to fall, just getting dragged down by a mixture of Light War Sleds and Little Grom, who's a little bit obstructed right now, but already up to 640 gold value. Not shabby whatsoever. Hasn't been on the battlefield for too long. Corsairs move up. We have Warbears moving through the blinding snow of Kislev there on the left to hunt down. Unfortunately, Patriarch a couple of times has got isolated by some good kind of sniping potential from Storm. And the Patriarch, yeah, looks to be probably going to be going down here, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe there's a chance to save it with some Corsairs moving over here, but it looks like all the Kislev pressure really is going on Scarbrand right now, who's taking a lot of damage, and the middle objective is finally in favor of Kislev. But is it a little bit too little too late? 3,500 to 1,500 tickets? I don't know. I do not do maths, guys. I'm a duck here. I barely know how to work a computer. Frostmaiden of Ice has been summoned. I like this play. It's going to be quite a good counter in general to enemy infantry if we do have the Heart of Winter, which we do, which means Kislev should be able to hold the middle objective relatively well with that. We have Ice Sheet. We also have the egg and all these standard items that you're used to seeing. Warbears continues to beat down and force back the Gorbeast chariots who are not having a good day. Oh, the glorious animations. Yes, my mighty Warbears. Rip and tear. Blood for the Kislev gods. I mean, blood for, you know, Kislev for Kislev. The Fleshhounds fall back here. I love the fact that every faction secretly just worships Khorne, but pretends not to. The infantry is getting pounded by Little Grom, which you like to see, being done quite a long range there and just whittling them down. That should allow the Armored Corsairs to overwhelm them in infantry in kind of big grind fight in the middle. And it does look like the middle objective is starting to be claimed once again, though, by the forces of Khorne. Nice bit of rotation as well. Skarbrand moving up to threaten the home objective. There is currently no Kislev forces on that home objective. Likewise, I'd like to see some dervishes or Wing Lance has been summoned from Kislev and applying pressure onto Objective 3, because even if you're not going to catch it, just contesting it means your opponent's going to be forced to, you know, move resources out to that side. Skarbrand considered going for Objective 1, saw the Light War Sleds there and decided against it. He is a very low HP-wise now, though. It does seem like the Warbears getting in kind of some bad engagements up against Bloodletters. Another beautiful flame attack coming down the flank, and look at the buff. So the more damage Skarbrand does, the more kills he gets. The more damage he does, so he's up to over 1,000 weapon strength, 83 melee attack, 72 charge bonus. He is going full Chub Chad as the Little Grom does apply pressure to the Bloodletters, just constantly focusing down reinforcement units. So when they get there, you know, they've wasted all that time walking there, and then they are going to have to fight as well. We do get a hard to win to come down. It's only going to catch really one unit of infantry, but hey, value is value at the end of the day. And I think Kislev need to push Objective 3 here. 4,000 tickets is too much. They're at 2,600. We need a triple cap, at least for a while, from Kislev. I don't know if they've got the army to do so. They're only just ahead on gold damage at the moment, and I think Storm has managed the battlefield far better than Kislev, though I think Kislev have managed the single entity fighting far better than Khorne. Heart to Winter goes down. It is going to suck in the Bloodletters, who will take considerable damage from this, though they only caught the end of it there. And now Skarbrand comes in for the third showdown up against Boris. He's going to be attempting to do a bit of a rampage as well. The Frost Maiden not having the best of days, or the Ice Maiden, but Boris is nearby, and he should quite comfortably be able to deal with Skarbrand, I think, at this point. Skarbrand does not have that much HP left. And you can see, yeah, he's taking a lot of damage right now as Boris comes in with the Fury of Ursun, bringing his mighty scythe or halberd, whatever you want to call it, to bear, and ripping bloody chunks out of Skarbrand, who's also getting shot and piled upon. Middle objective is starting to be claimed by Khorne, though. We do get a bit of an attempt for a triple cap with Light War Sleds moving up to victory point 3 with the Patriarch. We need to see all this infantry, though, on objective 2 before he loses it. Objective 1 does seem like it's going to stay in hands of Kislev for now, as Boris is the last Kislev standing in the middle. Everything else is broken or running. There's halberds coming, there's Bloodletters. Skarbrand is still alive, up to 95 kills. Not a bad job whatsoever, considering the amount of abuse he took early on. He's been summoned twice, but has managed to get 4,300 gold of value, whereas Boris is up to 3,700, but of course is only on 1 life here. A load of Kislev forces are being pushed in. Big shots by Grom going down onto the halberds, but is it going to be enough? Middle objective is actually holding in the name of Kislev, and we may have a triple cap. Objective 3 does seem to be falling, but very, very slowly. Skarbrand's going to be attempting a cheeky push to objective 1. Love to see that supported by some hounds, but we have Light War Sleds moving over there to contest it. They should be able to force Skarbrand off. Can the middle objective be held by Kislev, and can they claim this far objective? Fleshhounds have been summoned. Going to be a good answer to the Light War Sleds, and there's no infantry which can go over there quick enough. We have a Patriarch. Maybe the Warbears can also wrap up and around, and these Corsairs who are currently shooting need to put down their guns and pick up their axes and move on to the central objective. Otherwise, it's going to be falling in the name of Khorne, as we see more Bloodletters, exalted Bloodletters this time summoned into action. Interesting to note that their ability here, which gets activated after 80 kills, I believe would stay after they die and get resurrected back into the battlefield. So probably a good unit to bring in the early game here. Bloodletters do get finished off as the Armored Corsairs do some decent damage to them, but they are still losing this middle objective, and it looks like it will be get capped here. 4,745 tickets to 4,015. Objective 3 was being contested, but just hounds now flooding onto the objective should be enough to drag down the Light War Sleds, and unfortunately the Patriarch can only look on in his horror as their beloved Bears do get dragged down there. Middle point has been recaptured as well by Khorne. Light War Sleds can do a nice road attack into the exiled Bloodletters. Boris fighting to the bitter end, a true Chad of Kislev. He's done a really good job today. I've been quite impressed with Foot Boris. Unfortunately, it will not be enough in a close game. Going down 5,000 tickets to 4,200. Very close on the damage value-wise, but Storm dictating the play of battle on the map and choosing to fight when he wanted to fight. Basically, which really helped. Yes, yes. Fat yeast from Little Grom. Little Grom did bits. Yes. You've been having a good time using Death Heads? I've just found Death Heads to be quite expensive. But yeah, Air Core for Nurgle is very good. There's some good replays from Turin out there what I've seen where he's used them a lot. It's GG unless he gets trouble. Yeah, the Frost Maiden got deleted by Scarbrand. Scarbrand slaps, man. The Scarbrand does slap. I mean, 101 kills on the bad boy. 4.4k gold value is certainly not shabby either. He did have to get brought in twice, though, so he did not pay for himself because he is very expensive and obviously had to bring himself in multiple times. So it did give a lot of battlefield presence, which was quite useful. Pretty impressive, the Exiled Bloodlayers. They got 2.6k value there and 55 kills. 3,000 value and 1,100 on the Bloodlayers. Real standout troops here of 222 kills. Warhounds just did some nice harass and tried to annoy the enemy where possible. Skull Crushers, 1.7k gold value on them. Unfortunately, never got to see the Minotaurs in action. Halberds did decent across the board. Any standouts? 1.8k on a unit of Chaos Warriors. Only 2 kills. That's very impressive. 2.5k or nearly 2.6k on the Flesh Hounds with 39 kills. 865 on the other unit is also pretty good. Boris Urson, 91 kills. 3,852 gold value on him. Very impressive for him. Doing good work there. 1.2k value on the Warbears. 1.9, 1.7 on the War Sleds. Any other standouts? I don't think so in particular. 2.9 on the Warbears. 1.1k, 1.3 on the Little Grom. Really impressive stuff. A good fight there. But alas, Storm shall be victorious. So let's update the scoreboard. I think I did forget to change the name, unfortunately, as well, of the competitor. So let's correct that. As it is Ronin. Now, Ronin said he's been having trouble with his internet, and Storm does tend to lag a little bit when in lobbies with me, but it's like intermittent, so it's fine for most of the battle. So hopefully they won't have any problems. But Ronin, you are up, buddy. We will remember to change the map this time. And let's do the Eye in the North. Do a bit of a different map. Scarbrand, more like Snipe Brand, although he did get sniped also pretty much twice, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So let's get Mighty Ronin in here. Man, that's a bit of a shock to the system. My stream hadn't refreshed on my phone, and it's like, you got 50 people watching. I was like, oh, that's okay. This map here watching. I refresh it, and it's like, you have 130 people watching. I'm like, ah, panic. Blood for the Blood God. Yes, Scarbrand. I hope you enjoyed that one. So, I am going to have to take a 2-minute break here, guys, because my stitches, so those who don't know, like, I feel bad, like, repeating it, but it's just, I need to explain to people, I guess. Oh, that's very painful. I have, like, stitched to my back, basically. I had some surgery done exactly a week ago now, so I can't sit down for too long. So what I'm going to do is quickly grab a pillow and put it on the ground so I can kind of kneel down and cast this next game. So 2 seconds, guys. There we go. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. I have to move the mic out the way slightly, so hopefully you guys can still hear me. If you cannot, let me know. Or if it's, like, too distant, let me know, and I can figure out a way to set it up a little bit more. Also, who has more mass Kislev light chariots or corn heavy ones? Probably Kislev ones, because they're bears and they got swagger. You can't really mess with the swagger, man. So let's see what they're going for. No, Vatek, don't worry, man. It was an awesome display. Honestly, Foot Boris was honestly freaking cool. Honestly, Foot Boris was badass. Yeah, everyone let Vatek know that there's no shame in losing. One Stormrunner who's a very good player, but the fact that Foot Boris has got so much swagger, lots of swagger. Oh, no worries. No worries. So if Ronin says if he lags, he'll leave. That's absolutely fine. Awesome. Storm is going to be going Nurgle and Banon Zinch, I believe. Do. Awesome. Google ban Lynch. No worries. Ronan says sometimes lobbies lag fam. It's okay, man. There's no if it lags, we'll just leave and we'll move on in the list. Glad to have you here, man. Glad to have you here so we can hopefully get you in action. Ronan's like a super talented player as well. He's one of my favorite Wood Elf players from Warhammer 2. Also a good lover of pineapple. Particularly on his pizza. I think he may be going Kislev. We'll have to see. It looks like it. Double check. I'm gonna check on my phone. I'm trying to tab out the game as little as possible. Cool, Kislev. Love it. Kislev. More Kislev action. Hopefully he'll be able to avenge the Kislev. I think Kislev's really good into Nurgle as well. Really good. Little Grom. I mean, you've got to go Air Core if you're Nurgle here, I think. But if, like, traditional Nurgle players, when they go, like, a load of large single entity monsters, you just snipe them with Little Grom and, like, Ice Guard and stuff. It's amazing. Ice Guard or Glaives are very good here because they just butcher Furies and they butcher Rotflies and anything that's putting pressure on them. But there's ways around it with Nurgle. You can go Stream of Corruption and stuff. Let me check out update the scoreboard. I did. So Storm is our current king with 2 victories. 2 victories so far. And it looks like he's on the road to success. The road to success and might. Hope you guys have been enjoying the fact lobbies are now open. And we can host tournaments again. I will probably let Turin do the first round of tournaments because I know he had some really big ones planned. And then following them, I will try and host some on his website as well. I still need to contact him about that, actually. He did mention it to me. We need to get involved so I can start hosting some on his website. I've also got a really, really freaking cool idea for a series, a tournament series that will be uploaded in videos on the channel. I don't want to spoil anything yet, so anyone snipes the idea. I need to message people about it today. It will be a big team-based event, which I am excited for. The Eye in the North. We actually remembered to change the map. We have grown up so much from young little ducklings. Quack, I hope the stream isn't about to end. No, Ghostly, we still have time. We still have time. We've had some awesome games, says Twilight Harbinger. Indeed. Indeed. No, don't worry, Ghostly. We're going to go for a little while. I had to mix up my streaming. I'm not on my chair right now. Matthew Coffin. Hey, Dougie, how you doing? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm a little bit of pain right now, so I'm going to go take some painkillers after this game. And I'm going to be casting this one from my knees, unfortunately, rather than on my chair. But it's all good. I've been enjoying the games as well, so they distract me. They distract me. And apart from that, I've been doing really good. It looks like Mr. Ronan is ready. What's his name on this? How do I... Is there a way of checking his name? I'll have to check in-game. It says, by R something. Hopefully it's Bears. And we've got the Pineapple Conqueror up against Clan Pineapple, so should be pretty interesting stuff. Oh, me and my good friend Ronan have practiced this matchup a little. Yeah, so hopefully Ronan will be able to consistently play. He did say sometimes Warhammer 3 lags out his lobby really bad. So we'll see how the lag is, and hopefully it'll be fine. Maybe it's a PC issue more than an internet issue if it's Warhammer 3, but there has been an update as well. Maybe that fixed it. Maybe it was he was running it on the wrong DirectX bin. He loves pineapple on pizza. Trust me, Twilight. Trust me. I've spoken to Ronan. He's all about pineapple on pizza. Trust me. His blood's like a boiling. Get well soon, mate. I will do, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to take it easy, but I've missed streaming. I wasn't able to stream for like a week, and I was like, I'm gonna stream. Even though I probably not meant to, but it's fine. I improvise around it. I improvise around it. But today I was a little late getting a video prepared, so I thought I'd do a stream instead. Let's have a little drink while we load in. Seems like we do have the air squad coming in from Nurgle, which I like quite a bit here. I like quite a bit. Constantine coming in for Kislev, very common pick. Him and Boris are basically the two main picks. Though honestly, the Katarina, the Ice Queen, is pretty freaking badass as well. Plus are the basic, like, Ice Witch and Tempest Witches. They're all pretty decent. So you're going to see a lot of variety, I think, from Kislev in general, though. At the moment, Constantine seems to be the most popular pick alongside Boris. When people get used to using Katarina and, like, the Ice Witch and stuff, they're also going to be very popular on their bears. Lots of mobility, decent amount of damage, very tanky for casters, and can do some pretty awesome spells. And here we are on the glorious Eye in the North. It always makes me think of the King in the North moment from Game of Thrones, just because of the association by name. Oh, Pineapple's called By Our Blood. I'm guessing that's a Kislev reference. Maybe he's a Kislev main, which if he is I'm a Kislev main as well, I think. I mean, I've mainly played Kislev and Cathay so far on battles. There should be an okay matchup for Kislev. Yeah, I think it's fine for Kislev. We have the giant warp gates kind of opened here, the Celtic gates. I love the map so much. It's my biggest, probably, like, I don't know, not my biggest improvement, but one of my biggest improvements is the maps. And oh my god, it's a Lizardmen temple. Yes, Lizardmen confirmed in Warhammer 3. I love it. In Warhammer 3 multiplayer, we can still get some Lizardmen action. Pretty fun map. Both players have a home objective and a contested objective, which is different depending on the map, what you get. Sometimes both players have a home objective that's the same one almost, and a long objective like on Galleon's Cove. Sometimes they're equally spread. In this one, though, you have a pretty dominant home objective and a far objective as well. So, Ronin, I believe in your internet. It shall be powered by pizza and pineapple, and it's fine. It seems fine to me. Rock flies buzzing around, up to no good, starting trouble in the neighborhood. So for the forces of Stormrunner, the King Stormrunner, I should say, pardon my hubris there, as he has claimed 2 victories so far against tough opponents as well. We have a couple units of Chaos Furies. We also have a unit of Rotflies and a Herald of Nurgle. The Herald of Nurgle coming in on a Rotfly himself with Lucas of something, which is the lovely little hill passive. Stream of Corruption, Blight Bow, interesting enough, and Fleshy Abundance. Double Cultists of Nurgle down on the ground with their summons, and a load of Nurglings in the main army. For the forces of Kislev, we have 2 units of Armoured Corsairs in at the front, a lightly armoured couple of units in at the back. We have some dervishes as well, cavalry-wise. We have some light war sleds and a lead in the charge on what is a rather beautiful colour scheme, I might add, coming with the green here, with a Patriarch alongside Constantine, who is basically a Supreme Patriarch. So we've got the Battle Hymn and the Lullaby, and once again I'm assuming Battle Hymn and Lullaby. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Plus Urson's Ward, which is very good. Urson's Ward. Yeah, honestly, the laws of magic for Kislev are actually pretty good, I think. I think people just need to practice a little bit with them. I've had a lot of fun. Oh my god, look, go back here. Oh, this is the seats in action. This is how we can watch through that little gap of the battlefield. I actually had seats like that once in a stadium, watching a football game. It was pretty terrible. I basically just had to, like, move myself and find a new place when people left. So, should be good fun. Excited to see this in action. Nurgle versus Kislev. Should be a bit of a decent scrap. I think, personally, it probably slightly favours Kislev, but then I haven't seen too many people use the Air Core for Nurgle, which I think is actually the way to go, so maybe this will mix it up and actually make it a bit more favourable for Nurgle. Rotflies, got decent enough armor piercing to break through the war sleds and hopefully pin them in place and drag them down. And the battle is underway. Who's your money on, lads? Yeah, I'm pretty surprised about a Blight Boil. I'm not 100% sure the logic behind it here. But you can always drop it down on, like, Armoured Corsairs and Ice Guard and Zarguard and stuff, I suppose. If he thinks he's going to have a problem with it. Yeah, the Ashy Rain's very cool. The Ashy Rain's very cool indeed. One of my favourite animations in the game is the wings on these Rotflies. One, the sound effect. It sounds like a little Air Force. But they're like painted brush strokes, almost. They're very cool as the Rotflies rotate around here to get into a bit of a better position. Kislev going to be advancing nice and slowly. A popular tactic with Kislev is the slow push. Like, you sit back, do a bit of damage, and then you push forward and get the double cap. You do not want to leave it so late you have to triple cap, though. That is a big mistake many Kislev players make. Their infantry is not fast, and they can struggle to capture people's home objectives, I've found. So, Furies flying out to the left-hand side. Nurglings will be moving up. If there was some war sleds here, I would recommend the Dervishes go assassinate them. Dervishes could go jump on these Nurglings. The problem is that if they get road attacked by the Chaos Furies as they do so, that is a dead unit of Dervishes. With the one light war set as well, who can kind of move into the middle. Needs to be careful, though, of the air current. Looks like Nurglings have spread out. Storm seems to like to play the entire maps we've seen from his couple of games so far. Has moved on to Objective 1. He's contesting Objective 2. And he's also applying a bit of pressure there to Objective number 3. The cultists are going to retreat back as the mighty bears do come for them. Nurglings looking to maybe take on the dervishes in hand-to-hand combat. We do have our first spell of the day, a stream of corruption doing some really lovely damage. No kills. It won't stop the damage output of these units, but it will get a load of a juicy HP damage done. Spears up in the skies, a little bit slow to react. Can come back here and kill this unit of dervishes, probably before they kill the Nurglings. In fact, the dervishes go for a charge there and actually lose more HP against the Nurglings than they dish out pain-wise. Dervishes, not the greatest melee combatants in the universe. Now they're poisoned and slowed. It does look like the big bears, the Patriarch and Constantine, may move after the cultists and Nurgle, trying to assassinate them before they can get their summons into good positions, or bait out summons and then retreat, which can certainly do some pretty decent work. It does look like the Lord up in the skies for Nurgle. The Herald of Nurgle has been sniped out a little bit. Rotflies and Furies just floating around the background here, ready to jump down on the enemy, as Kislev summons more armored Corsairs into the main fight. Nurglings are going the pretty long pilgrimage to assassinate the dervishes, as Furies fly high up in the skies, looping up and over the terrain. And my god, that's going to be a bit of a long trek, lads, as they decide to go all the way up the terrain rather than swerving around it there. It looks like the Spearmen are going to be claiming Objective 3 for Kislev. They've got a large force in the middle, and we have seen some Winged Lancers summoned. Coming in to try and assassinate these Nurglings and other cultists. If you can keep Nurgle back in their own deployment zone, you're in an absolutely lovely position. The Winged Lancers come in for a devastating charge on the Nurglings, sending them flying in all directions. And they seem to jump up and down, having a good time, trying to drag down the Winged Lancers. Man, the Nurgling animations are so rad, as the Winged Lancers, though, are starting to do some pretty decent work there. We have cultists moving in to help assassinate. One cultist does seem to be getting picked apart, and he's not able to get his summon in the right place. He probably wants to drop it down amongst all this infantry, but he's getting pinballed around there by the hero core of Kislev. We do get a early Soul Grinder on the field from Stormrunner. I was wondering why he was setting up so much of his resources. Not a bad play here to help bring the long-range pain to the enemy infantry, because it does seem like Kislev going for that infantry style of play. The glorious Coastal or Herald of Nurgle is going to be floating wide. Nurglings have been left to be abused so far by the force of Kislev, as light war sleds and the Winged Lancers do decent work. We'd like to see the Furies of Storm just float around here and either finish off the light war sleds or finish off the dervishes and Winged Lancers. With a big hero fight in the middle, the cultists are doing a decent job there. They actually hit relatively hard, and alongside the Herald of Nurgle, they're actually assassinating the Patriarch pretty effectively. One cultist is broken. He needs to ensure that he chases them off, otherwise he can come back and use his summons, with a load of armored Corsair shots coming in as well, trying to apply the pressure. Patriarch is able to retreat, and of course can be held up by themselves or by the Grand Meister himself, Mr. Constantine, who is now jumping the second cultist, who is coming in with a summon. And it looks like damage value-wise, the mighty Pineapple King Ronin is ahead considerably. Light War Sleds running over Nurglings and assassinating them, doing a decent job here. Nearly double, not quite, but nearly double gold damage value-wise. Both players have similar amounts of troops on the battlefield, and ticket-wise, it looks like Stormrunner is just about ahead, claiming his home objective a little bit quicker than Ronin was able to claim his. Big shots coming by the Soul Grinder, doing some really decent damage to the enemy infantry. My god, that's a good way to get back into the game. We have Plague Bearers as well, and a first Blight Boil of the day, doing some pretty decent damage to the enemy cavalry here. We also get Curse of the Slug going down, so they were not able to escape, and they are having to take as much damage as physically possible there, as the mighty Herald of Nurgle just flying up in the skies, up to no good, and summoning Plague Bearers into the neighborhood. The mighty heavily armored Corsairs are just taking poundings from long range, unfortunately, as more Plague Bearers are brought to bear on them. The cultists are now being bullied. They can 2v1 the Patriarch relatively well, and they're actually doing some massive damage to him. I'm really impressed with how hard these Cultists of Nurgle hit. And they are doing some pretty decent work, though they are now starting to get bullied. We get some big summons coming now by the mighty Pineapple Conqueror himself, Stormrunner. We have Plague Bearers and Forsaken being moved into the middle, realizing he has to claim the middle objective. Now, at this point of the battle, if I am the Kislev forces, I'm summoning some Ice Guard, or I'm summoning Little Grom, or anything I can place onto this ridge to rain shots down, maybe even Streltsy to the middle objective, now that it has kind of come about, this middle objective being so important. We do actually get Ice Guard being summoned as I say that, which is pretty good play there by Ronin, I think, as they move in. There is this sort of variety, and they are susceptible to the long range of the Soul Grinder, which could be problematic. In the middle fight, we can see the Plague Bearers doing a decent amount of damage now to the Winged Lancers. They are, of course, a summon, though, so they won't be able to capture this objective, unfortunately. And the Soul Grinder could be jumped by the Dull Bear. The Dull Bear could certainly do a decent amount of work. It looks like they are falling back to try to deal with the Herald of Nurgle, as we have more Armored Corsairs, as well as the Ice Guard moving into the main middle fight here. In the distance, Light War Sleds are running over all the reinforcements. Even if they can't kill these reinforcements of Storm, they can distract them and stop them getting onto the middle objective for as long as physically possible. Objective 1 has been well and truly held by Nurgle right now. No contesting whatsoever. Objective 3 has been held by Kislev. Do we still have the Furies hiding around there? No, we don't. Looks like they don't even know where the Furies went. Maybe just disappeared off the battlefield entirely, unless they've started to go on a pilgrimage up there on the terrain once more. Plague Bearers doing a decent job, just trying to contest the middle and fight this Patriarch. There's a load more coming as well. We have the Forsaken. It looks like they are being slowed, though, by Frostbite, which has been applied to them by some of the range attacks here of the... is it the Ice Guard who do that? I believe they do, yeah. They apply the Frost there. Ice Guard is a really nice play just to slow down the Nurglings even more. Up in the skies, you have some Rotflies. They're going to be used to deal with the Light War Sleds alongside the Soul Grinder. Soul Grinder probably needs to commit to the middle fight. I think the Rotflies, as well as the Nurglings, can quite easily deal with these Light War Sleds down here and just slaughter them as quickly as possible. Soul Grinder needs to help contest this, because look how much infantry is here. It's really disgusting stuff. Yes, Forsaken are decent melee fighters, but all of the Kislev force have to do is take these Winged Lancers, you pop them in this gap, and then you charge into the enemy, and you sacrifice your Winged Lancers. Your Kislev, so you become unbreakable when you get too low HP wise, and that just buys so much time for the Ice Guard, Corsairs, more Corsairs, also as well as the Armored Corsairs, just to whip in shot after shot and really bring the pain to the enemy, and you can whittle down the Forsaken, and even if they break through, they're not going to have enough presence to really destroy you. Tomb of Corruption's been used multiple times onto the Ice Guard to pretty decent effectiveness. We do have some Tsar Guard on the middle though, and I think Kislev are in a very dominant position. Very dominant. They're ahead damage value-wise by about 2,500 gold value. They've got more objectives. They are losing this left-hand side pretty bad, though. Like, wherever the Soul Grinder goes, Kislev bleeds. And Rotflies, Nurglings all being committed, though, to deal with one Light War Sled is really good news for Kislev, as they can just hold the middle and continue to pour shots on. Looks like Patriarch has moved into combat, as well as Constantine there. We're about to get a big, nasty spell. Is there an Ice Witch on the field? There is! Oh, no! This is going to be devastating! This is going to be so nasty! Oh, this is... oh, no, it's a Blight Boil going down. Okay, I thought it was going to be a big... it's the Curse of the Slug. Blight Boil. Oh, Winged Lancers take so much damage there. We are, though, about to get the Heart to Winter go down. And, yeah, this could honestly be GG's this early on. Plague Bear is going to be going down. Both 2 units. Both those units are dead. There's no escape. There's no way they can pull out of the Heart to Winter in time. It's just going to be too much. Zargard moving as well to pin the enemy back. Lovely play so far. The Streams of Corruption coming by Storm and the Herald of Nurgle. But it's kind of like a little bits of damage. We've got Rotflies coming in. We've got Soul Grinder coming in. And Nurglings have abandoned Objective 1. They're going to float down onto Objective 2. I think this is all or nothing. Like, Nurgle need a big push into the middle if they want any chance of success. And the problem is, if Ronan notices this, he just moves his Corsairs to Objective 1 and forces you to, send resources that way once more. That really nasty Heart of Winter going down is doing some pretty devastating damage. We do get a pretty nice Rot, Glorious Rot, which will bump between all of these Kislev units and do some pretty significant damage. It's a good way back into the game, but I don't know, that entire infantry push just died, like, in second. We do have some Death Heads being summoned. They're being used to launch shots down, the Plague Drones of Nurgle Death Heads. I know someone in chat was a big fan of them earlier. I've not seen them ever do that well so far, but hey, maybe I will be proven wrong here. More Rotflies and Nurglings are summoned. Objective, yeah, this objective is just being left behind, which is a good idea by Storm, because he has to contest the middle. Apologies about a little bit of lag here. We've had them in all the games so far, but hopefully we will better sort that out in the next game a little bit. Does Heart of Winter do friendly fire? I do not believe so. I do not believe so. So now we have the Herald of Nurgle starting to swoop down. He's getting quite beaten up and injured here. The Ice Guard are some of my favourite models in the game. Their shooting animations are so dope. Look at them go. The way they whip their arrows out. Ah, so badass. And they are lighting up that Herald in the skies right now, doing some glorious damage. Rotflies as well as the Soul Grinder do move into the middle to try to contest, but Kislev is gritting their teeth and stand firm. We may get yet another Blight Ball go down here. Hard to say. Looks like we were going to get some effect go down, and maybe it was unfortunately cancelled. We do see that the Soul Grinder is wailing on the Frost Maiden now, doing some pretty decent damage. Lots of Winged Lancers here. Zargard very healthy. Constantine is pretty healed up, and of course he can heal these troops as he goes. Big Blight Ball coming in onto the Ice Guard. They've taken so much punishment. They've been hit by 3 or 4 Streams of Corruptions plus a Blight Boil. Let's check their damage value so far. Still, despite that, got 1.3k value. Yeah, they're so good in this matchup. Soul Grinder seems to be going down. It's completely surrounded as Armored Corsairs move up. Light Warsleds are just parked alongside it and launching shots into the Herald of Nurgle, sending him away. And he's getting a little bit close to his healing cap. Seems like Rotflies and Nurglings might make a cheeky push for Objective 3. There is probably going to have to be a triple cap at this moment. But Kislev's just swarming, and the Herald of Nurgle's taking so much damage from those Light Warsleds. I would love to see those Corsairs move on to the far objective, but Storm, our king, our glorious, beautiful king, has been dethroned and slain. Well played to Ronan. Fantastic game there. Came through hard, and I think it's quite a tough matchup for Nurgle in general, so... Storm obviously had played the majority of his best factions. You cannot play the same faction twice. 2.3k value on the Herald of Nurgle. 560 on the Rotflies is not too shabby whatsoever. 660 on the Cultist isn't bad. His brother fought a lot worse, of only 200 value. Any heavy hitters? How did the Soul Grinder do? I feel like it did a lot of work. Yeah, 1.2k value. The Death Heads, only 460, but they weren't alive like long enough for us to do a real big test, and the infantry just got obliterated. Constantine, 1.2k. Patriarch, 700 value. What got the damage? Corsar Spears, 1,000 value. 800. 1.5 on the Light Warsleds. I think it was just relatively well spread. 630 damage value. I believe of 1 Heart of Winter from the Frost Maidens. Very nice. 1.3k as well on the Ice Guard is impressive. Any other standouts? I don't think so. I like the Winged Lancer play, though. It was very cool indeed. Very cool indeed. So let us remember to switch the map, and let us go for Galleon's Cove. We will do Galleon's Cove. So let's quickly see who's up next, and then we can change the scoreboards. Welcome, everyone who's joined my Discord recently. It is, I believe, Darkland next. Let me have a little look. Who do we await in the lobby of glory? It is Ducklin. We have Ducklin, Nerob, and Amuth. Ducklin, you are up. Ronin, to pick, and ban 1. Awesome. So let us quickly change the names and the score. Ronin is a 1-0 up there. I'm going to write down, though, that Storm got 2 victories. So Storm had a long reign, a bloody reign, but a long reign, constantly fighting. Managed to get 2 victories there, so he is the current overall winner of the stream. I'll have to see if he can hold on. Ronin does have a single victory now. Pretty good stuff by him. And let's change Storm's name to Ducklin. There we go. And doesn't look like Ducklin's joined the lobby yet. Let's let him know that what the password and stuff is. Awesome. So I think Ronin's just contemplating his life choices and seeing which faction he wants to play. He cannot play the same faction twice. What's up, Reza? Hope it's going all good. What's up, Try? Hello, hello, hello. Quack, quack. Blackthorn! The champ, the king of kings. How are you doing, dude? Hope you're all good in the hood today. Duck and boys, I have a question. How do you sit and make builds? I've noticed you can't select domination battle with AI in custom battles, so there's no option to save builds. Yeah, just make a custom lobby. Yeah. Oh yeah, Lindsay literally explains it. Yeah, just make a custom lobby with a password so people don't join and bug you. How can someone join? Normally you just join my Discord. Tello, we are capped today, but we'll be doing more King of the Hills and tournaments and stuff into the future, obviously. We'll probably do our first tournament this weekend of Warhammer 3, I'd expect. Cool. I am very quickly going to go grab some of my tablets. And be right back. So let us see. I'm assuming Ducklin's Nadan. Assuming this is Ducklin. There's no way of me actually checking, unfortunately. Let me send him a message. Ducklin. Are you... Let me message Ronin quickly. And spam note, hey, you get to pick and ban one. Awesome, it is him. He's in the right lobby. He's in the right place. Can you play Domination mode with the AI? No. Sadly, you cannot. I think it'd be too complex for the AI, in all honesty. I don't think they'd be great games. Hopefully one day. Hopefully one day. Hopefully, like, this can continue Domination to future games. I would love this in a 40k. Right, I'll be right back, guys. I just need to go grab a tablet quick. I shall leave Blackthorn in charge of chat. I'm literally going to be gone for like 2 minutes. Or like 20 seconds. But I will leave him in charge. I have returned. The return of the dark. It looks like it's going to be Slaanesh versus Ogres, which is pretty interesting. It'll be our first Ogres on display today. We've seen Slaanesh played quite a few times. It's a fun matchup. Slaanesh are one of those factions which are fast enough. They can shut down Iron Blasters and stuff, which is real nice. But at the same time, Ogres like hit so freaking hard back. Maybe going mass infantry would be the way. Iron Blasters are limited to just one, though. And this map, I don't know if they'd be that amazing. There's a lot of shot blockers on it. It's going to be quite a good fun fight, though. This is one of my favorite maps because not only does it have some real fun advantages on it, there's a lot of terrain, there's lots of trees, there's high ground, there's low ground. You also both share the same home objective, and that means you both have this, like, you share a really far objective. So it brings a lot of kind of tactical nuance to the battlefield, which I like quite a bit. Quite a bit indeed. I can't wait for more maps, though. Like, I love these maps. Pretty much all of them are pretty decent and competitive, but I would like to see some more maps in the future, of course, as well. Looks like Mighty Ronin's ready. Let me quickly check the Discord. Awesome, yeah, he picked Slaanesh and banned Khorne, and his opponent picked Ogres. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Ducklin's asking about the rules for Ogres. Only one Iron Blast. Let me double check that he got that in time. Yeah, he doesn't even have any Iron Blasts. What a Chad. What a Chad. No Iron Blast to build. He has gone for 4 lead belchers, which is certainly something. I've seen a lot of people do this, and then they get run over. Because how do you protect that many lead belchers against Slaanesh? It's going to be really rough. If he can do it, though, I'll be very impressed with him. Very impressed indeed. But he's going to have some pretty insane micro, I think, to hold on there. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. If so, feel free to leave a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, come join us. We don't bite too much unless you offer bread. Whoa, a big fat stretch. And we are ready to party! So, Pineapple by our blood, aka Ronin, the current king, taking on Ducklin in a death match here on Galleon's Cove. Should be an absolute blast. I'm also looking forward to doing some tournaments at some point where we, for example, do best of threes with Domination mode, and then if it's 1-1, the last game would be like a standard land battle. The only problem would be sorting out all the land battle rules and stuff. If anyone can do it, Ronin can, exactly. That's what I say about most things in life, and people get confused. Like, I'm at my work, and someone's like, oh, we all do this delivery in a set amount of time, and they're like, it's impossible. I'm just like, Ronin could do it, and they don't know who Ronin is, but, you know. It's fine. They get the message. Meat, says Zenskis, I agree. So, for the ogres, the glorious, the infamous, the somewhat overpowered in the eyes of many. I think they are a little bit overpowered indeed. Gorges and iron blasters. Mainly the iron blasters. Honestly, gorges are really nasty though as well. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 lead belchers making up the front line there. Double ogre balls, the Noblars, and Scrag the Slaughterer. Definitely, in my opinion, the most competitive of the choices for the ogres. Coming in with the Brain Gobbler, negative 16 leadership, the Bone Crusher, the Maw, and Troll Guts. I don't think I've ever seen a Brain Gobbler used, so it should be good fun. Across from him, we have the forces of Slaanesh, coming in with some Hellstriders. Looks like a double Hellstrider, as well as some Chaos Furies up in the skies on this right-hand flank. On the far side, we have even more Hellstriders of Slaanesh. And in the middle, we have Marauder Spearmen, 1, 2, and 3. Basic unit. And oh my god, I've not seen this horse yet. What the fuck? This looks so cool. What? When did this get added to the game? Look at it. It's so badass. A Cultist of Slaanesh. Coming in with the Gate of Slaanesh for the Demonette Summon. Looks like that's about it. None of the other goodies. And a rather loud and angry Herald of Slaanesh is bringing the pain. Coming in with the Locus of Grace, the ability to summon Furies, the Lash of Slaanesh, Acquiescence, as well as Phantasmagoria. That's what we're going to go with, and that's what we're sticking with, which has some pretty cool animations all around. Let's get this party started in here. Looks like Slaanesh, for the most part, are going to rotate around to the right-hand side and just send one unit of cav to the left. Maybe worthwhile hiding in the trees and then just, being in the back of your opponent's mind that I'm going to jump you at some point. Ogres are actually moving down towards the far objective. So on this map, both players have their Vanguard points pointed towards objective 1. So it's kind of both of them is their home objective. It looks like Slaanesh instantly going to gun for it, whereas the ogres are going a little bit of the long haul here, looking to push up to objective 3 and maybe wrap around as well towards the middle. They need to be careful with this many lead belchers, though. You have to stick together in the early game, because if not, Hellstriders will just rip and tear them apart in a short matter of seconds. Yeah, that horsey mount's so cool. Indie Pride made a video about Gorges. So they barely lose to Cav. Yeah, probably. I can see it happening. Gorges are very good. Gorges be very good. I found the best way to deal with them is just mass infantry, honestly. Mass infantry and like hound units seem to drag them down. But they are a bit too powerful right now. Lead Belch is about to dispense freedom. Oh god. I'm looking at today's Warhammer 2 tournament. A Warhammer 2 tournament? Oh. I don't know, man. Like, I can't go back, dude. I can't go back right now. It was really tough when I was allowed to showcase some stuff early access and I had to go back and do Warhammer 2. I was like, I just want to play the new game. I like this quite a bit. Ogre's been a little bit slow. Decide early on we're going to go for the far objective, knowing that we can contest the middle and home objective in the mid to late game a lot easier. We have lead belchers, but actually I say Ogre's slow. Ogres are pretty quick. But, I think compared to Slaanesh, everything's a bit slow. So a load of forces going to objective 3, and lead belchers going to start moving into the middle and start applying a bit of pressure. Now, lead belchers are very squishy. Very squishy. 26 melee defense, 50 armor. Furies will rip and tear them asunder rather swiftly. Looks like we're going to get a lot of Furies being summoned into the battlefield by Ronin. Lead belchers probably want to open up fire either on to the Marauders or the Furies before they get jumped themselves. We have Scrag here and Noblars. What you want to do is get your Sabertusk pack and keep them near your lead belchers. They all counter to Furies. They will jump onto them rather quickly. Up in the high ground, it has been claimed. The mighty Obi-Wan Kenobi commanded it, and Ronin answered, moving the majority of his forces to the high ground to contest objective number 1. Number 3 is probably closer to being in the graphs of Slaanesh, I would argue. Objective 3 is all Ogre's baby. Now, the Furies do dive down. This is a risky charge, of course, in enemy territory. They will do a lot of damage, though, and a big mistake not having Sabertusks nearby. Sabertusks can easily jump on these guys and beat them back quickly. They're not doing too bad, though, because there's so many units of lead belchers. They're actually crossfire into the Furies and able to drive them away rather successfully there. Plus, there is a unit of bulls as well. You can see where the bulls go, the Furies doth suffer, and they seem to be getting dragged down pretty badly there. Lead belchers are lighting them on fire. My god. Guts out, boys! This is Ogre Town now. Furies are still bouncing around. Looks like the infantry corps is going to start pushing towards the middle a little bit. Objective 3, there's no need to have this many troops here. I would take both the Sabertusks and move towards Objective 2. Just leave the Ogre Bulls here and one unit of cannon should be enough to fend off any, like, quick push coming in from the forces of Slaanesh. In the center, though, Slaanesh do start to move on top of the objective. Lead Belchers continue to follow up into the Furies right now. They're pretty furious with them, and their attempted assassination attempts. They shall not forget this, and they're going to try and finish them off before pushing to the middle. We do have a unit of Gorgers being summoned into action, and obviously push forward. Scrag does come in with the extra ingredients to give me a little bit more Winds of Magic. Ogre Balls do go bowling into the Spear. Not going to go too well for them, I'm afraid. The Spearmen should have just about enough about them to really drag down the Ogre Balls. But with the Lead Belchers firing in, it is getting some real bad Narn flashbacks here. We get a big slam coming down as well by Scrag the Slaughterer. Lots of damage being done on this middle objective. It is, however, claimed by Slaanesh. A lovely use of the Demonet summon. This is really good. Get the Demonet summon and push them onto the Lead Belchers with the Hellstriders would be some really nice play. The Maw does come down and just snap off the finger. You summon Demonets, I kill Demonets instantly. That summon almost killed in one spell is quite frankly ridiculous there. Hellstriders don't need to get aggressive. We've got also constant swarm of Furies moving in to help deal with the Lead Belchers. It looks like the Sabertusk pack is now activated. Big push coming in from this left-hand side. We have a Cultist of Slaanesh as well as Spearmen and the mighty Hellstriders waiting over on the left-hand side. Objective 1 being guarded by double Spearmen is absolutely fine. An early cap advantage so far to Ronin, the current kin. And he's got a pretty good situation going on in the middle. Scrag the Slaughterer overextends. He's being taken on by a Cultist Slaanesh plus the Herald. They will be able to butter his bread rather effectively despite his healing. More Furies have been summoned as well. Can now bomb dive the Lead Belchers as quickly as possible. Gorgers doing what Gorgers do best, killing literally everything on the battlefield. The Hellstriders and Spearmen are doing actually pretty decent trade into them considering the Lead Belchers are constantly firing in as well. More Furies just hounding and harassing the Lead Belchers are starting to force them off. We get a second summon of Demonets as well, moving into the enemy, and the Cultist Slaanesh should be enough to shut them down, and the damage value being dragged back now, in fact, into a gold advantage for Ronin after being an initial lost cause there. Hellstriders moving into the middle objective. It is still being claimed by Slaanesh. We do get the lovely pin going down, being used to pin in Scrag the Slaughterer. I really do love that animation, and I don't know if he's going to be able to escape here. He does have some Gorgers nearby for support, but the Cultist of Slaanesh, as well as the Herald of Slaanesh, able to drag down and shatter Scrag the Slaughterer. No more magic for you, which is quite a big news, because no more Maws or healing or any of that problematic stuff that Slaanesh could run into. In the back, Cultists of Slaanesh, as well as the Demonets, are able just to overwhelm Noblars here, as well as the Lead Belchers, and shut them down. More Lead Belchers are coming back. We have a big save up here by Nandan, also known as Ducklin, coming in with the Hunter to move around and try to engage in the middle fight, but Scrag the Slaughterer does indeed go down. Objective 3 is about to be pressured pretty aggressively. Hellstriders moving around the side here, looking to jump on top of the Lead Belchers. With the help of Marauder Spearmen, this objective is probably going to start to fall into the hands of Slaanesh and maybe get a triple cap. Hellscourger's moving up as well to help deal with the Noblar pressure. Damage value is now massively ahead for Slaanesh after a rocky start. Objective 1 well and truly secured, and the middle objective is just swarming with Slaaneshi forces. Lead Belchers continue to pound in. Hunters probably not terrible in this matchup because they've got huge armor, which I could see being quite nice. I actually quite like them against Tzeentch, which seems like a mad idea because they're so large and there's so much shooting from Tzeentch, but I found they can do some pretty decent work. Lead Belchers continue to pour shots in, but they are consistently falling back, and they simply have nothing to protect them. Chaos Fury is going to be moving in, Hellstride's going to be moving in, and this is looking really bad for the Ogres in the early game. Fury's just bomb rushing down to the Lead Belchers, looking to shut them down as the Hunter stands firm against a tide of sexy Slaaneshi forces. Does a roar in frustration, though, as the rest of his army does decide to retreat. Looks like we're going to see his blast attack come down, do some pretty nice damage there, as cannonballs are launched from afar. Don't know where he was keeping those stored, but whatever they are, they did some pretty decent damage. We do have Mornfang Cavalry looking to stem the tide of Slaanesh forces and maybe allow the Lead Belchers to do decent damage. But Slaanesh seems to be well and truly in the driving field at the moment. Hellstriders move over to Objective 3. We also have the Marauders of Slaanesh here, and it looks like that will be a rather healthy capture from them on Objective 3. Mornfang Cavalry doing decent work, though, on to the Marauders and Seekers. In the main fight, the mighty Hunter has unfortunately been hunted himself. He is completely surrounded by these anti-large cavalry. Squadrons are in here, Spearmen are in here, all the heroes are in here. They hit pretty hard. He's being poisoned, he's being dragged down. His leadership's not looking too great either right now. And the poor Hunter not having a good day whatsoever. What can men do against such reckless Slaaneshi play? Probably Gorgeous spam, get a load of Gorges out here, I would recommend. It looks like money-wise, he is stacking a bit to try to save up, is the Mighty Duckling. Lead Belchers get pinned in place. Oh, no. Oh, that's so nasty. Snesh have such good battlefield control. They get pinned in by Fascination, and the Hellstriders simply jump on them, and Lead Belchers aren't going to stand a chance up against the swift-moving cavalry there. Lead Belchers seem to be going down, and we have Seekers of Snesh as well as Hellstriders all floating around Objective 3. In the center, the Glorious Hunter is unfortunately going to be going down, taking a little bit of friendly fire there as well, getting surrounded by a load of troops. Maybe he'd be able to get out of this. Locust of Grace goes down, though, giving good physical resistance to all these troops. And, yeah, the poor Hunter not having it the best day so far. Ogres aren't really summoning in too many troops right now. They're really trying to stack resource and perhaps do a combined push. As for Snesh, Exalted Demonettes of Snesh have been summoned in. Looks like that is about it. These two Spearmen on guard duty, probably not enjoying not being able to get involved in the action at all so far during the course of this game. It is the dreaded triple cap now for Snesh. They fell behind a little early on, 1.2k tickets there for Ogres, but now it's 3,000 tickets there. 2,800, no, 1,800 ticket lead so far for the forces of Ronin. Snesh just dominating the left-hand side. Hunter's going to be going down, and I don't think there's too much the Ogre's going to be able to do to get back into this. They got decent resources, 2.2k, and that's after they summoned in Unit of Ogre Balls. I'm assuming they're going to summon in a load of reinforcements now and go for a big push to try and contest one objective at least. But taking all three objectives against Snesh, who can pin you in your own zone so well and flow around the bow so quickly, is going to be nigh on impossible. Poor little lone Mournfang is going to be running for his life to go tell the tale that you do not mess with Snesh. You do not mess with him in general, and he is fleeing to try to save his own skin here. As for Snesh forces, always want to move up on like a suicide death charge into the Ogres right now and pin them in place. And there's no way they can kill this all in time and get back on the objective to stop the triple cap. Instead, it looks like Ronin a little bit more conservatively, thinking of the lives of his men and women, which I was not doing. Can kind of pull back here and maybe just recuperate his forces. I would like to see him withdraw the really injured units back to the main army so they can heal up and come back again. Leave them on the battlefield like this, I don't think it's going to do too much for them. So it looks like Ogres, they're going to go for the desperate last-second triple cap push. Do they have enough forces? It doesn't look likely. Like, they don't have enough money. They could send one Ogre Bull to each cap, maybe, with Saber Tusks and Lead Belchers, but there's so many forces to Snesh, and at this point, Ronin just has to protect one capture point to be victorious. At this point, it doesn't look like he's going to lose any. Just so much cavalry swarming all around the middle of the map right now. Double spearmen up in the skies on the home objective there. Going to be so hard to dislodge, and it looks like it's going to be a limp finish, unfortunately, for the Ogre Kingdoms. Exalted holding down in the middle. Cavalry, yeah, just swooping around the shot blocker, using the lovely little cracked boats in the middle here. They're using this big shot blocker just to hide away. Lead Belchers continue to pour shots from afar, it would seem, down on top of Marauders. They do finish off some Furies, which is nice. Lead Belchers are pinned in place, unfortunately, so they can't really get involved in on the action. And we're going to see a split. So a split push by the Ogres. Got Ogre Balls and Saber Tusks moving down in one direction. Lead Belchers and Ogre Balls moving in the other. And I don't even know if Rollins needs to do too much about this. I don't think they're even going to be able to reach all three objectives in time. We do see the Hellstriders springing there trapped from the trees with the Seekers. On top of the Saber Tusks, they should have no problem dispatching the Saber Tusks either. And then we have more Hellstriders moving on to Ogre Balls, just isolating the Ogre units. The Ogres have to spread out to try to capture objectives, and it's just going to be their undoing, unfortunately. Hellstriders, as well as the Herald of Snesh, the Cult of Snesh, easily about to overwhelm the Ogre Balls, who seem to get debuffed as well by Acquiescence, as more Hellstriders move in to help finish them off. And yeah, it's GG's, good game, but a massive 6,000 gold damage advantage. Pit Snesh into a dominant position, owning the map, and getting the juicy triple cap. Yes, yes. What's up, Ronin? A different Ronin in chat. Ronin Longrace. Yes, Ronin was actually fighting in your honor, good sir. Yeah, Hellstriders be very nasty here, Will. I agree. I agree. The patch is pretty long. The actual patch to download doesn't take long at all. It's only like 2 gigabytes. It's the fact it has to then rewrite everything back onto your PC. So if you have your game on a, I think it's HDS, rather than... Oh, what is it? Yeah, it basically depends on your PC, on how long it's going to take, unfortunately. And how quickly it can load it, because the actual download's not very long. The Scrag the Slaughterer, 820 gold value on him, not shabby whatsoever. The Lead Belchers, 620, 600, 490, and 447. The problem with this starting build is against an experienced player like Ronin, particularly on Slanesh, who is so fast, and very elf-like. He's a talented elf player. it's really, really rough, and the lead belcher simply can't be protected. I like the hunter pick, though. He was cool on his Stonehorn. Still got 1.4k value, despite being surrounded the majority of the battle. Gorges never really get on in the action too well. The mighty Pineapple Meister himself, Elder Sinesh, got 2.3k gold value, 1.6 on the Cultist. And yeah, not these bad elsewhere. 960 on the Chaos Furies, 1.6k on the Hellstriders. Fortunately, we never saw the Soul Grinder in action. But yeah, decent, solid performance there by a King. And that does mean he's going to be able to tie it up there for a 2-all with Stormrunner. And up next, I think we have... Is it a move? Let me check. No worries, bro. No worries, bros. Console said he couldn't play as a reserve. That's fine. I don't think we're going to get to our reserves today. I must admit, I'm feeling it quite badly now. As these streaming. For those who don't know, I'm not meant to be streaming for too much. I had an operation, so I'm a little bit out of it. And a little bit dead. But we will persist still, because we've only got 2 more players. So 2 more games. We'll manage. We have Nerob up next, followed by A-Move, and that will be the end of the stream after that game. So 2 more games for you guys. 2 more games. Welcome everyone who joined the Discord. There's a link down below, by the way. I've noticed a lot of you guys have indeed joined. So let us quickly update the score. Ronin is 2 up. And the Mighty Storm as well did manage to get to 2 victories. So they're currently tied in Kingdom. Or at like a length of reign, I suppose. And it is Nerob. Send Nerob a message. Where is the King of the Hill queue? There you go. Nerob, you are up, buddy. You are up, bud. Ronin. Tag Ronin. C pick. And ban 1. Awesome. I'm excited to see Nerob in action. He was a little nervous about playing, so he didn't think he was going to be good enough to compete with these lads, but we will see. We will see, Nerob. I believe in you. And chat believes in you too. If we can get a little chant for Nerob going, that'd be great. That will be great. Eldrin of the Mist, man, you're always so generous, dude. Every time I stream, I swear you're coming in with the fat donations. Comes in with a $10 donation. Says, can we try in Domination an Exalted Plague Bearer Lord with 2 heroes? All on the... I'm going to butcher his name. Palaquin? Palaquin? I know what you mean. And can we try the same idea with Exalted Pink Horror Lord and 2 heroes on discs? So, the Exalted Pink Horror Lord and 2 heroes on discs is actually quite common. And I've seen it in a live stream. One of my live streams, I believe, if you go back and watch my tournament live stream, Entity use it in there. It works very well. Very good sniping. I can try the other one, though, for you at a later date as well, and maybe get in a replay. Very good game of it. I'll cast it, Eldrin, and I'll let you know about it. You can bring the Great Unclean one, 2 Great Unclean ones, plus an Exotic Great Unclean one as well, which is something I think you'd like. I'm pretty confident that I will get Ogres eventually. He says, Arad, you can get them for free. You can get them for free if you get the game early enough, right? Oh, you're going to get the game late. That's fine. I think like for the first month or something, you get Ogres for free. Yeah, just have fun, Nerob, man. Ronin's scary, though. He's a scary tournament player. Yeah, stream's been good so far, Benedict. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it a lot. I don't think it... they shouldn't swap them. What's this going about? What do you guys think about the poll about flipping funds? My personal opinions, I don't think they should flip the funds, personally. I think it would lead to a little bit more RNG in the opening game. Not like huge amount. You can bring in more of a reserve force. But it kind of makes reinforcements not pointless, but like way less impactful. You know? I feel like it'd be a watered-down version of land battles rather than being something new and different. But that's my opinion. I'm happy to try it. Like, it'd be cool if they had the option, so you could flip it if you wanted to, or you could maybe have a scale and like move the scale up and down. But I think this is probably, like, from a guess, obviously I haven't experimented with it yet, but I would say this is the best option. Ogres are free until today, I think. Oh, okay, thank you for the heads up. So apologies, Aaron. I think you will have to pay for them as like a DLC. They'll probably be a relatively cheap DLC. They also go on offer all the time. Ronin's like, for Ronin! It's a lot. I mean, Ronins are like wandering, like masterless samurai, right? I asked this earlier, but what do you think is the role of the Lord of Change unit for Tzeentch's army? He feels a bit redundant. The Lord of Change. Oh, like the Lord of Change. You basically just fly him around and you spam pink and blue spells, pretty much. Just relatively cheap. You just get multiple of them and you just spam it multiple times. Yeah, basically what Benedict says. Like in this, you have a bit more flexibility in builds, I'd say, and flexibility to bring some wild stuff in your reinforcements because you aren't forced to use them. Oh, it looks like we might have Nurgle versus Ogres. This is so bad for Nurgle. Well, you have to bring a massive air core for Nurgle, but this is very bad for Nurgle. Particularly if he brings a big cannon. Let's just double check that was them picking the stuff. Yes, Nibrob goes Ogres. Ronin picked Nurgle and banned Tzeentch, which is definitely the best ban. That's Nurgle's worst matchup for sure. For sure. Yeah, Ronin is a samurai that has no lord, right? Let's have a hearty scrap. It should be good fun. Should be good fun. But yeah, whoever was the Tranquil Walled. I'm not shooting down your idea of like the flipped funds, by the way. But that's just my opinion at the moment. I'm happy to be proven wrong if it does turn out to be better. And I think having the ability to experiment with the funds would definitely be a good idea as well. It's also sealing Old Gaelic. Oh, that's cool. Is there any domination matchups that aren't bad for Nurgle? Yeah, like Nurgle can do okay against quite a few factions. I actually think they're way more powerful than people give them credit for. But now that people are figuring out Grand Cathay a bit more and realizing, hey, Grand Cathay aren't actually that terrible. On certain maps, I think they're very powerful, and they're really good against Ogres, they're really good against Kislev, and they're both very popular at the moment. I think it has moved Nurgle down to the worst faction in the game, probably. Probably below Cathay. Ronin was a samurai that was kicked out by his master. Ooh, interesting. Almost like a Slayer, Lindsay. Like, do they have to go get honor somewhere? I love that whole, like, aesthetic and idea of this, like, wandering warrior without a master who's having to, like, redeem themselves. Nurgle still look pretty good, but, like, that's the kind of good thing. Honestly, the game's, like, relatively well balanced. I know people complain about, like, Ogre's been a bit OP, but compared to, like, Warhammer 2 and stuff, I think this is a lot more balanced. Again, there's a lot less factions and units to balance, so it shouldn't be, you know, too hard to make a better balance than Warhammer 2. Right, I'm going to quickly stand up for a bit while we load in, then I'll try and sit back down on the chair again. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to lie, my back is hurting quite a bit now, so I think we're just going to do the two... Yeah, this game, one more game, which will be A-Move 1. And then I probably won't stream for a couple of days just so I can recover a little bit. Way better than Lamb. Oh, you guys complain about Lamb battles and stuff. Yeah, like, underneath every single video I post, if it's a Lamb battle, people complain it's not Domination. If I do Domination, people complain it's not Lamb battles. Though, view-wise, I have noticed my views, like, halve, basically, if I do a Lamb battle. I dropped a really cool video yesterday. It's like a full bear cavalry build. It's crazy. And it does, like, half of, like, my lowest Domination video. Which kind of sucks. But I think it's just Domination's a lot more popular right now, obviously. It's new. It's fresh. I still do want to do some land battles to give, you know, people who want land battles still be like a huge fan, still give them some content, but it is tough. It is tough. Alright, let's wiggle over my chair back again. There we go. Always, though, Ronin was a samurai who's failed to protect his master, and his master therefore died in a way to redeem themselves, are considered Ronin. There's probably multiple definitions of Ronin. Like, basically, it seems like a wandering samurai without a master, is what I'm getting as a vibe. Like, they've either been kicked out by their master, or they failed their master and their master's died. You know. That general gist. I'm trying to get comfortable, but it is impossible right now. Imagine... Oh, thank you so much again, Elgin and this dude, for the donation, dude. There's imagine Guardian Lions and Gargoyles in-game. They are pretty much a combination of Terracotta Warriors and War Lions and Furies. That would be disgusting, and I'm all for it. I'm all for Cathay getting these, like, stone statual war lions just dragging their way into battle. It'd be badass. So for the forces of... And thank you so much for the donation, my dude. Honestly, it's always appreciated. The mighty Nerob coming in, trying to make a name for himself. Load of Noblars. We have Ogre Balls with dual weapons and triple gold chevron iron guts. The most irony and goldy of the guts. They look freaking badass as well, I should say. They're mighty cleaving swords. We have some man-eater ogre pistols, 1 unit of lead belchers, and saber-tusk pack. You definitely want to keep your saber-tusks near to your lead belchers. Protect them from that spooky, nurgly air core. For the forces of Ronin, our current kin, who is actually tied right now with Stormrunner, I believe, on top spot. Comes with a Herald of Nurgle up on the mighty Flappity Bee. And this is actually how Storm went down, picking Nurgle. So I have to see if it does come back to bite Ronin on the butt. Double Forsaken, we've got little Nurglings shuffling their way. We've got the Hippity Hoppity Frogs as well, charging and hippity hopping into action. They look very cool indeed. We have a double Cultus of Nurgle on horseback. And what does this Lord actually have for spells? We have the Miasma of Pestilence, Curse of the Leper, and Fleshy Abundance. I love to see it. Love to see it. Who's your money on, guys? Do you reckon King Ronin shall claim victory, or do you reckon the Ogres will get their first win of the stream? Let me know. I only played Cathay just 2 games, lost both, but still like them. Early days for me. Yeah, I've had a lot of success with Cathay on quick battles or ranked, because they counter Ogres relatively well. You gotta be a bit careful on the map, but this map, for example, is great for Cathay because it's so hard for them to pressure your back cannons, and you just obliterate all the Ogres from range. Plus, Missile Mirror is, like, amazing. Amazing. If you drop it on, like, an Iron Blaster, it will just kill itself. Or it will two-shot itself, so you have to overcast it, but... So, sorry guys, just trying to reposition on my chair a little bit, and then we'll get back into the action. So, Forsaken going to start pushing on towards Objective 2. Cultists are vibing there. Plague Toads as well getting ready. Nurglings, and it looks like some Furies were summoned in, just to once again push the backfield as much as possible. In come the Ogre Balls. The Man-Eaters are an interesting choice with their pistols. They do good against large threats, and they can probably fend off some of the enemy generals' pressure and rotflies and stuff, and also do decent kiting damage up against Forsaken, I would like to think. Noblars here to just cap objectives. In come the Lead Belchers. Iron Guts are really good for killing the Forsaken as well. I have to see how it goes. Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw, I think I covered him early on actually, coming in with Troll Guts, as well as the nice little buff to his own troops there. Back objective, it looks like we have 1 unit of Sabertusk Pack. We may go back there to cap it. And we do have some Man-Eater Great Weapons on the way to the center to help fight. And it's going to be a bloody affair as we swoop through the trees to see the action. Man-Eaters are forced back by the Herald of Nurgle. It looks like also the Noblar is going to take pretty huge amounts of damage here. We do get a portal being opened up to summon a unit to the battlefield. Though the Man-Eaters should be able to fall back relatively quickly, actually, and just leave the Noblars behind. And hey, if Noblars die, that's not really too big of a loss for the Ogres, because hey, it's just, you know, just some Noblars. Ogre Balls do get the Bull Gorger popped on them as they charge into combat up against the Forsaken. They should easily chew through them, but Curse of the Leper goes down, reflecting some of that damage, as well as keeping them nice and healed up. More Furies do fly into action. Their main goal to swoop down upon the Lead Belchers. Where art thou, Sabertusk Pack? I think they're busy... Oh no, they're not capping this objective. They're actually going for a bit of a flank. They definitely need to be back here and protect the Lead Belchers. We do have Man-Eater Great Weapons on the approach, though, and honestly, the Man-Eater Ogre Pistols can protect themselves quite comfortably. So early doors, pretty decent damage value by both players. We do have the Sabertusk Pack coming for a rear attack on the Forsaken, but the Forsaken have taken huge casualties so far. They are getting healed up, luckily for them. Ogre Balls struggling to really break full, but the Sabertusk Pack should hopefully help that out. In this engagement down here, the Iron Guts engaging with the Summon, which obviously is not good news for them. Man-Eater Ogre Balls are helping defend the back line. Looks like the Furies will be forced off, allowing the Lead Belchers to hopefully rain some shots in from afar. They can do some really nasty damage. I'd like to have seen like a giant pick, I think, from the Ogres, just to apply a bit of pressure in the middle of the map against Nurgle, because they can tussle with the single entities and also deal with a lot of the chaff. In comes the mighty Slaughtermaster. He has given a great battle cry to the Great Maw. Seems to try to buff up some of his troops, maybe. We get a Troll Guts as well as a Bull Gorger go down on the Iron Guts, so currently dueling an infinite amount of Nurgly forces. Saber-Toss Pack are going to come for a fat rear charge into the enemy. Should be able to do some decent damage there. Chaos Furies is flying high up in the skies, looking just constantly apply pressure to the lead belchers at every given opportunity. They are starting to rain shots in now. It looks like the middle point is being captured by Nurgle, but very, very slowly so far. Big fight is happening just outside the capture point as Iron Guts try to cleave their way through the enemy. There are so many of them to get through, though. It's taken them certainly quite some time. Plague Toads as well are getting their asses handed to them by the Man-Eater Grey Weapons. Saber-Tusk Pack starting to roam in. Lead Belchers are likewise. Home objective not being capped yet by the Ogres. Nurgle have capped theirs with a sneaky unit of Nurglings. We get some spawn of Nurgle summoned. I think they're quite a good answer against Ogres in general. And we have some glorious Rotflies being summoned into the main action. Central objective is just about being held by Nurgle. It does look like they're going to hold on for it for now, as Nerob's forces are really struggling to push in properly. Saber-Toss Pack just getting dragged down. The double cultist is quite problematic alongside the Herald. They're actually out dueling the Slaughtermaster and the triple gold chevron Iron Guts. Noblars are approaching. We have Manny Ogre pistols shooting in. If the lead belchers can turn and just assassinate the Herald of Nurgle, that'd be absolutely a huge boon for the Ogres and allow them to get back into the game quite quickly there, though it seems like we are going to be getting a summon. Miasma of Pestilence goes down as well. Pretty nasty stuff going in the middle. Forsaken attempting to push off the enemy. Chaos Spawn are being lit on fire by lead belchers, but they're unbreakable, so they do not give a damn. Saber-Toss Pack is going to be moving to attempt to cap the back objective. Not a bad play or gambit whatsoever from the Ogre Kingdoms. Hop on top of these Nurglings and capture objective number 1. The mighty Noblars are trying their best just to get uninvolved in the action and sit this one out, allow the bigger lads to deal the pain. Man-Eaters are falling back a little bit. It looks like they want to protect the lead belchers from the Rotflies, but more Forsaken are pushing around as well as Chaos Spawn. And this big fight, all the use of summons normally wouldn't be that great on the objective because they can't hold the objective, but fine just off the objective like this is really good seasoned tournament play by Ronan coming in here, just keeping his opponent away. Damage value wise, Nerob is massively ahead. Look at this, 5,800 value against 2,900, but he can't get anywhere near the objective. Rotflies pushing him back. Saber-Tusks have been summoned, as have more Man-Eater Ogres. They really need to push on top of objective 2 as quickly as possible. Objective 1 being held by Ogre Balls is all good and well. Nothing's going to get through them in a hurry. Objective 1 is, nice counter punch here by Ronan. Coming with some Chaos Furies, they can simply drag down the Saber-Tusk Packs quite comfortably and get rid of them. I think actually Furies are quite a nice counter to the Saber-Tusk in general, particularly when stacked with the Nurglings. So that home objective is very safe. We do have a load of Forsaken who are starting to swarm over back towards the middle. In the main fight, Iron Guts up to 39 kills. I've been pretty impressed with these lads so far and their durability, up to 1,000 damage value. Trying to force their way through into the enemy formation. Can they break through the force of Nurgle? Spawn and more Forsaken was wrapped around the left-hand side, and they're so in the face of this Ogre build, and the Ogres are outkilling them by miles, but it does not matter. They cannot get near the objectives. The tankiness of Nurgle truly is something to be admired. The Forsaken are going down here, though. The Chaos Spawn as well are being forced back. Man-Eaters can certainly hold their own in combat. Lovely use there as well of the buff to ensure they could beat back the Spawn quite quickly. We do have more Ogre Balls being summoned. I'd love to see a load of Noblar summoned, and they need to wrap up and around and force their way onto the objective a little bit more. Just get onto the objective a little bit more. Force Ronan back towards his own deployment zone, but also onto the objective, and stop him from, keeping your entire army at bay here. Looks like the Coast Nurgle are trying to hold on. The Slaughtermaster has driven his forces closer towards the objective. This is good. Get the Saber-Tusk Pack, ignore this fight, rotate round and hop on top of the objective. That's just what he's doing. We have double Saber-Tusk Pack looking to claim objective 2. Nerob needs to be careful. His back objective is wide open, but there's only Furies here, and hey, Furies can't cap, so that's all good news for him. More Nurglings and Forsaken being moved towards the middle objective, desperately trying to cling it on, because if the forces of Nurgle lose this middle objective, having taken so many more casualties early on, they're basically 2-to-1 casualties here, they're going to find it really hard to get back into the game, like really, really hard. Forsaken move in. It is too late, though. Ogre Kingdoms do secure the mid objective. What does Ronan do now? I think he needs your suggestions in chat, because I do not know how he's going to be able to pull this back. Saber-Tusk Packs are very swift. They can avoid the Forsaken here and fall back to the main army, which has been pushing at the gate for so long, trying to assassinate the Cultists and Nurgle, who have been really sticky. I think the best thing to do with Chorus is just ignore them and move on to the objective, take out the Forsaken, take out the targets you can actually affect really quickly, and also the ones that can cap. That's kind of your main priority. The Chorus, yeah, they get some value, but hey, they don't have that much capture weight. Load more reinforcements coming in as well from the Ogres. Double Man-Eater Ogre Pistols. We have some more Ogre Balls and Lead Belchers. All of this can come in now to the main fight. Is Ronan going to go for a tricky back cap? It is a possibility. Objective 1 is well and truly secure by him. He is coming with more Rot Flies as well as the rather glorious model that is the Beast of Nurgle as it slivers and slimes its way into action. Oh, baby. What a lovely treat for you guys to be seen on the battlefield. Nurglings are pushing in. It looks like Nurgle is starting to cap this objective back once again, and it's just good play keeping the enemy off the objective. Look how many Ogre forces there are here. They could easily capture this objective if they were just fighting on it, but they can't get there because Forsaken and Furies have been used to pin the enemy in place. And also, I feel like Nerob is getting way too distracted by these cultists and Nurgle. Like, if he gets this unit of Ogre Balls plus the Lord on this objective, he wouldn't be losing it like he currently is. Herald of Nurgle's doing a decent job alongside the cultists, just dragging down the Iron Gut to a triple gold chevron, being fine for blimmin' ages. And they've done a really decent job so far. Oh, I love that animation, dragging their sword up and just clobbering the enemy. They are up to 1,500 gold value so far. A really decent job, but they are about to break here. And Nurgle claim back objective 2, which is absolutely wild here. There's no way they should be doing this, but they are. And again, if anyone can do it, it's Ronan. The Man-Eater Ogres doing a decent job, just kind of layered defense here, so they can shoot the Furies when they do jump down on their troops. The Lead Belchers are applying a lot of pressure. Sabertusk Pack need to just rotate up and around once again and claim at the middle objective. Still an advantage so far to Ronan. 2,300 tickets to 1,400. If he can get it to the point where he only needs to hold one objective, he should then definitely just turtle Nurgle all on the objective number 1 here. Plague Toads have been summoned, Nurglings have been summoned, all looking to push to this objective. It is going back and forth, a very hotly contested center here. Forsaken are getting dragged down. Ogre Balls and Man-Eaters, as well as Lead Belchers and the Sabertusk Pack, can now finally, after what has been 8 minutes of pretty much non-stop fighting, and finally actually get onto the objective and start claiming back in the name of Ogre Kind, and that's just what they're going to do. I'd actually like to see these Plague Toads move up and over to contest objective 3 here, put a little bit of back pressure onto your opponent. It's going very, very well now for the Ogres. They're about to get the 2-to-1 cap. They have over double the damage value, and it's looking pretty rough. We do get an Overcast Hill go down onto the Nurglings. That should be able to spread to quite a few forces here, and more shots are continuing being piled on by the glorious Lead Belchers into the enemy formation. A load of friendly fire coming in as well from the second unit of Lead Belchers. Now they're more stable, and that Ronan's been forced to bring in infantry to contest the middle. They've got less to worry about as far as flyers are concerned, and Ogres are really pushing in now to start asserting their dominance on the middle of the battlefield here. It looks like Objective 1 is going to be contested slightly here. Nerob is going to move out some Sabertusk Pack. Only 15 models though. Nurglings should be able to hold, you would think. We do have some Plague Bearers being summoned and more Furies as well, trying to wrestle control of the middle. And there's a pretty decent fight going on here. One Nurgle definitely needs to win. We've got Nurglings in here. The double cultists have been going after that Slaughtermaster all day, but really struggling to actually drag him down. Rotflies, a Beast of Nurgle, more Nurglings. Lots of potential to hold on. If more Noblars arrive, though, they're going to be in trouble. And a big problem for Nurgle right now is there's nothing which can pressure the Lead Belchers or the Ogre Pistols, who are just raining shots in and turning the tide of this middle fight in favor of the Ogres quite considerably. Sabertusks do land in the back. They'll be finished off by the Nurglings. Looks like some Chaos Furies have been summoned to fend off the second unit, who's also swarming in, which is probably a good play, I believe, there from Ronan. Plague Bearers and Nurgle coming in, more Nurglings, all hands on deck to march slumberously towards Objective 2, looking to claim it. Ogre Balls are suffering quite badly, as are the Noblars. Good play by the Herald so far. I've been very impressed with the mobility Ronan's got out of that bad boy. Slaughtermaster's been bogged down by cultists. Man-Eaters are on the middle objective right now, and it seems like it's just been held by the Ogres, but not by much. It's relatively even fight in the middle, though we are now getting Ogre Pistols and Lead Belchers. All the Lead Belchers decided to move up a little bit and actually start getting on top of the objective and capping it. It still is an advantage to Nurgle. 3,300 tickets to 2,400. They do need to recap the mid, though. Plague Bearers, as well as Chaos Furies and Nurglings coming in, should be enough, you'd think, to hold that objective. Lovely pressure by the Ogre Kingdoms. This is exactly what I want to see, though. We have a Sabertusk Pack, we have Noblars, we have Ogre Balls, all pushing in towards Objective 1, and they will easily overwhelm the Nurglings and Chaos Furies here and go for the dreaded triple cap, which is certainly something Nurgle players do not want to see right now. Plague Bearers slowly moving in. They are losing that middle fight, though, and the damage value is getting more and more further apart. 1,500 gold damage value there for Ogres, 7,400 for the Mr. Pineapple Man himself, Nurgle seem to be going to an early grave here. Nice early fight by them. Really good play, but look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Plague Bearers who have disgusting amounts of HP. That's their jam, right? They don't do much damage. They're disgustingly tanky. Getting eviscerated on the approach there. Double Ogre Pistols. Lead Belchers, lights them on fire. The firepower is too much right now. Look at the damage coming in onto these Plague Bearers who are being ripped and torn to bloody chunks. Flushy pus going all over the battlefield, and not in a good way. Plague Bearers, say goodnight, sweet princes. We do have some toads. I definitely think they need to go around here and cap objective 3. If he can sneak around there and cap that objective 1, I'd be very impressed. But it also might mean that he can cling onto it long enough that he just has to hold his home objective, because there is no way Nurgle will win this middle objective. I'm pinning that down now. I will immediately go give like a £10 donation to, like, at the end of the stream, I'll go give a £10 donation to, like, the next streamer we see. We're ready to stream, I'll do it. If Nurgle get back this middle objective at any point, because I don't think it's physically possible. I do not think they have any way of getting that middle point. Furies flying high up in the skies. Nurglings are pinning in the Ogre Bulls. They've been able to just about secure their own objective, but only just. And Ogre Bulls are actually starting to capture it off them. Nurglings and Plague Toads looks like they might be going for the long con. Might be going all the way around to objective 3. And it seems like the Ogre player knows this, so he's going to be pouting them on the approach with the Lead Belchers and maneuvering a unit of Saber Tusks to block that engagement point. Like, block it so that they can't get through here. Ogre Balls, yeah, look at the Plague Bearer. Such a tanky unit, just in a snap of your finger, dead. Ogres do some really devastating long-range force. They're actually, honestly, a really powerful long-range faction, which isn't what you maybe think when you know about their lore, but tabletop-wise, I think it's very, very close. So yeah, the Toads, they're going for the back cap. They're trying their heart's content. Lead Belchers are just lighting them on fire, though. Saber Tusks are falling back. Probably wanted to engage the Plague Toads a bit earlier, I think. Push up and engage them kind of where they are now, just to ensure that the Lead Belchers can continue to shoot them, because the Plague Toads are about to get down into safety now. Nurglings as well going to be going for that back cap. Interesting to see how the Ogre player does respond. He responds by summoning some triple gold shovel and iron guts onto the battlefield once more, and some Noblars. I like the Noblar play. They'll be able to just contest alongside the Saber Tusk pack. The objective is just all Ogres. It's all Ogres. He does have some man-eaters moving out of this objective, though. Maybe going after the Nurglings there. But he's got so many troops in the middle, it's almost impossible for them to get back into this. And it seems like their lead is just not quite enough. So Nurgle had a really good early lead. If he can get the back objective, there's definitely hope here. 4,030 tickets. He needs to get to 4,500 before his opponent gets to 4,000. There's simply no way that's happening. Chaos Furies alongside Nurglings have been used really, really well, just stretching the resources Ronin has to protect this back objective. I think he's done a fantastic job keeping that objective down. Nurglings, Forsaken, and Hibbity Hobbities all pushing the mid objective here. He's given up on going for objective 3. There's simply too much there. Noblars in the back, Saber Tusk pack, and Kosano coming back. So yeah, Ogres just need to put all of their units on objective 2 and they win. I just don't see any way of Nurgle grinding them down quick enough. That Herald of Nurgle is goddamn tanky. If you put him on his little chair as well, he's even tanky. He just does not die. He's completely surrounded by the enemy now. We've got Nurglings on here. The Lead Belchers probably want to sit on the edge of the objective, realistically, and just obliterate shots inwards. Forsaken are piling into the main fight, but here come the Man-Eaters, and they are hungry. We have Plague Toads moving up as well. We have Nurglings moving up. All hands on deck right now. Is it going to be enough? He's still just about... No, he's just lost the lead for the first time. Nurgle have lost the lead in this game, and it's at a crucial moment. 4,355 tickets to 4,300. Certainly looking good right now for the Ogre Kingdoms. I think we're about to see a new king, and the curse of Nurgle may strike them down. It also looks like Objective 1 is actually being claimed by the Ogres, who have sneakily got some Ogre Balls past the Nurgle in defense. We're going to have to see another unit of Nurglings move over there to cap it back. Sorry about the lag. Looks like we've had a little bit, quite a lot of lag all stream, unfortunately. But hey, it is what it is. We've got players, coming from all over the world, and I don't mind a little bit of lag as long as it means we get them playing, and it's not like stopping the game or anything. Man-Eater's moving in as well to try to contest against the Forsaken, who are getting healed up right now. Middle objective is still just being claimed by Ogres, though. It's not even really made a dent. We have Nurglings coming in, but likewise we have Saber Tusk packs coming in. We also have another unit of Noblars coming in, and that is going to be GG's. What a fantastic game, though. Very close scoreboard. I think it's going to get to about 4,500 tickets is the mighty Ronin. Going out like a true king of old. Playing Nurgle for one and getting infected and dragged down, but also putting on a fantastic scrap. If he could just have held on to that middle objective a tiny bit longer, and I mean a tiny bit longer, he would have won the game. Because he could have then put all these resources down to objective 1 instead. But he lost it too quickly. He did manage to recapture it briefly. That, alas, was it. And yeah, he's going to get very close score-wise. If that sneaky back cap had worked as well, he would have been able to get back into the game, but I don't think it's going to happen. Forsaken and moving in. He does have Furies going over to contest against the Ogre Bulls. That should be enough to secure his home objective once more. He's done really good play those Furies to help his back objective. Wasn't able to get any units down here onto objective 3. There's some Noblars countering that anyway, and that is going to be game. Nerob is the new king of the day. Fantastic game. Fantastic game all round. Iron Blasters and Lead Belchers way too strong. I actually don't think Lead Belchers are too strong. I think they're very good. They're incredibly squishy, and if you don't protect them, they die very quickly. I would 100% agree with Iron Blasters, though. They're the best unit in the game by far. I'd actually say Iron Blasters and Gorges are the most OP. Lead Belchers are very good, don't get me wrong. Very, very good unit. I don't think they need like a big nerf or anything like that. Slawmaster, 1,100 gold value, just holding the line for ages. Nearly 1.5 gold here on the Iron Guts. They were triple gold chevrons. That's not a small investment. 1.1k on the Lead Belchers, 1.8k on Man-Eaters. Very impressed with the Man-Eater play all day. 1.1k on the Ogre Bulls. Pretty solid work there from our new King Nimrob. Man-Eaters, 3,000 value. My god. 1.9k on the Man-Eaters. I think Man-Eater Ogre Pistols might actually be pretty solid. Yeah, the other Lead Belchers didn't get any value. 200 and 550 value. Nothing too crazy there. 1.2 and 1.k on the Ogre Bulls dual weapons. I think going to be very good in general against Nurgle. And the Sabertusk packs did good. The highlight being 1,000 gold value. 1.4 on the Herald, fought to the bitter end, just would not die at all. Forsaken, 1,000 value, 500 value. Any other big standouts? I don't think so. I don't think there's anything too crazy. Probably the Furies. Furies did very good all round for Ronan, but the Mighty King, Ronan does 4. So A-move, it is your time to shine. The password is duck, and we're going to the last game of the stream. Let us do the Crossing of the Sea Claws. Very cool map. Very cool map. So let me quickly... A-move, you are up. You are up, bud. For the last game of the stream. Nerob, pick, and ban. Awesome. It is closed for today, but I will post more next week. Cool, looks like we're getting Cornby Kislev. A-move comes in with a swift Kislev pick. I think A-move's been playing Kislev a lot, actually, and the Kislev are my favorite faction to play. They're very good. Yeah, apologies for those who have hopped in the Discord looking to play. We have closed the run today. I would like to keep going more, but it's I just can't at the moment, I'm afraid. I cannot. But it is going to be Corn vs. Kislev, which is very cool. Good to have A-move back on the channel. He's been around for a long time, but we haven't actually had him on the channel for quite a while. Ooh. He was in some of my first tournaments, I believe. So King Nerob does overrun Ronin's reign of terror. And Ronin did actually tie with Storm, so if Nerob wins today, it'd be a 3-way tie. If not, I guess Ronin and Storm will have to hold the title as the longest reigns, with A-move would then be the, the new king. Cool. His lev ready. A-move's got a build prepared, it would seem. Instantly loads in. I like the kitty in his picture as well. Good game. Yeah, good game for sure. I'm an incurable optimist. Hey, it's good to be an optimist for sure. Eldrin on the Mist comes in with another donation. Thank you so much, dude. You're such a Chad. Says, I think Exalted Plague Bearers and Death Heads and maybe Plague Drones of Death Heads would be good against Ogre units with their high range damage. Could certainly be a good idea. You would have to make sure you're constantly pressuring Lead Belchers, because the Lead Belchers would shoot you out the sky. But apart from the Lead Belchers, yeah, they don't have the greatest anti-air support. So yeah, I could, if you can keep them busy, you can do a good game, for sure. For sure. I think the Air Core could do well there. I also think that type of build could do pretty good against Kislev. Just hitting them from the skies, because they can't contest the air. Game shows, if can't hold the initiative as Nurgle, it goes south fast. The unit's so close to catch back up. Yeah, like, Ronin did the right thing. Honestly, if he had held on for like another minute, he would have won the game. He just couldn't hold, like, in front of the objective long enough. Yeah, Plague Bearers have zombie speed. They're slow as hell. Giving all my power to my fellow Ronin. Sorry, man, he fell. He did a fantastic job, though. He did a fantastic job. But he did go down. He is now a master. He's a warrior without a master or a life, I'm afraid. He has fallen. GG to the opponents as well. Yes, man. Ronin, you did a good game, man. Really well played. Really well played. Ogres will get food poisoning. So, long term, Nurgle always wins. Into the maw. Yes. Meat, meat, meat. Time to get in the stew, I guess. Howdy, everybody. First time catching a stream. What's up, Boo Hooligan? Hope you're doing well, man. You've made it in time for the last battle of the stream, I'm afraid. I'm going to quickly reposition myself, guys. And stand up. Grab really quick. And we are back. So we're here for the final game of the stream. If you guys have enjoyed the stream, of course, remember to like and subscribe and comment and all that juicy stuff that every YouTuber under the sun tells you to do. But honestly, it does actually help. And we have the king, the new king, Nerob the clown. Claims to be a clown, but is actually a king. We'll have to see how that mystery unfolds. Is coming in with Khorne. So we have double Chaos Warriors of Khorne. We have Chaos Warhounds, double Flesh Hounds as well. We have a Skull Cannon. And then we have an Exalted Bloodthirster up in the sky. Everyone's a big fan of this bad boy. The mobility of flight is quite useful, though I have seen Scarbrand get more and more popular as well as the game has developed. The Force of Kislev, yeah, this is pretty standard opening for Kislev right here. Just a load of light war sleds and a load of bears. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 light war sleds. We have 1 unit of war bears, and then we have a Patriarch. Just a basic Patriarch, and that is it. He's coming in with Ursun's Roar, which is okay. The Song of Winter Sunlight is pretty good. The Lullaby is essential, and yeah, about him as well is pretty essential. Now, the cannon is going to be used to shoot the light war sleds, which I like to see. A really fun opening, by the way. If you bring the Tempest Caster, you have a spell which when you overcast, air effect speed buffs your light war sleds, and also slows the enemy of your passive. It's really funny. You can outpace like skirmish cap of war sleds. They move forward, and the Exotic Bloodthirster is attempting to juke the war sled shots, which is a bold play. Let's see how that goes for him, because he's a large target, and he does not dodge easily. He's taken a bucket ton of damage. Skull Cannon is laying on thick, though, to the light war sleds, looking to take them apart from range, so they can be healed up. Flesh Hounds are a nice count here as well. I'd like to see them apply a bit of pressure, as it looks like the Chaos Warriors of Khorne be moving over to Objective 1. Yeah, I'd like the Flesh Hounds to push down here, just drive away this force from the key targets, which is the Exotic Bloodthirster and the Skull Cannon here, because they're taking some insane amounts of damage. Streltsy have been summoned. Warbears moving out to the left-hand side with their Patriarch. Flesh Hounds, yeah, they're coming in, and that's going to drive away the War Sleds. But the War Sleds don't really want to sit here and tank this, and that would help save some damage on the Exotic Bloodthirster. So I'd like to see that play a little bit earlier, but it is the right choice nonetheless, coming in the end. What's up, PJ? How's it going, man? Saying hey, dude. Hope you're all good, or hey, Duke. Hope you're all good in the hood. Ronin's my man. Bringing with the Nurgle pick. Yeah, Ronin's a boss, man. Ronin's been a G for a very long time. It looks like a nasty scrap is coming out here for Khorne on the left-hand side. Polar Bears are jumping on top of Flesh Hounds, who do a rather wise retreat, slinking back to friendly territory with their tails between their legs. Nice reaction by Nerob to get them out of there and just pull back to the safety of numbers in the form of the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. Skull Cannon is moving up as well to apply a bit of pressure. The Exotic Bloodthirster is taking so much damage from those light war sleds. We have Furies on the field. We have more Flesh Hounds as well, and that's all going to be used to pressure the center, where we have Streltsy doing the overlapping fire onto the light war sleds. Streltsy, pretty decent in combat though. They've got mighty axes, so getting hounds on them is still problematic. In come the Furies. You see they're driving back the light war sleds now, just ushering them away from the majority of the key targets. And in come the Warhounds and Flesh Hounds. The Skull Cannon as well is rotating around that side. We do have Chaos Warriors of Khorne. Want to keep pushing. Definitely get onto Objective 1. They can fight war bears. They ain't scared. They're not scared of no bears because their anti-large isn't going to help them too much. Big shots coming down from the cannon, aiming at the sleds. I think, like, you need to get a little bit closer. It seems to me it's kind of a Hand of the God situation, where their range at, like, length isn't super optimal. You kind of need to be in this mid-range to get really accurate. Streltsy get jumped by the Exotic Bloodthirster, who's really struggled to find a home, to be honest, so far all day. Lovely little animation as he breathes fire at them all. Unfortunately for him, the light war sleds are going to eviscerate him. If he decides to jump on the Streltsy, if he turns around like this and goes after the war sleds, Streltsy are going to turn around and light him on the fire. And you can see they're doing just that. The Kislev for the motherland, bring down the beast. And they do some pretty nice damage to him there as he flies up in the sky. They need to continue shooting though, otherwise life won't go quite so well for them as they do get jumped there. Skull Cannon is moving up to combat. We have Flesh Hounds as well, starting to apply a bit of pressure. Damage value-wise, it's not even comparison. It is, 600 gold value for Nerob. 2,500 for A-Move Hacker. He's starting to get a lot of units trapped now, though. Winged Lancers seem to be in a pretty decent fight, if supported by the Light War Sleds. We also have Tsar Guard moving out over here to Objective 3, which I like quite a bit, with some Light War Sled support. Middle is going to be turning red, or for Khorne. Oh no, red for Kislev. Khorne will be taking Objective 1, though, with their Chaos Warriors. Moving some Halberds there, then, yeah, just put all your units down into the mid. It does seem like the Exiled Bloodthirster is going to have a rather short life here, just getting kited around too much early on by the War Sleds. Now surrounded by War Bears. We have Winged Lancers slamming down the hill. Lancers loaded, going into the flanks of the Flesh Hounds. And it does seem like the Exiled Bloodthirster is going to have to say good night. Patriarch laughing manically as spittle flies from his mouth as he cries for the great bear god Urson. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Streltsy was sacrificed, but it did enable the mighty Exiled Bloodthirster to go down here. Looks like the Skull Cannon's going to go down as well. Looks like Nerob is bringing back the damage value a little bit, though. They're getting some good engagements in the middle here. Chaos Warriors are starting to apply a bit of pressure. Skull Cannon's fallen back, and the middle objective is currently going in favour of Khorne, interestingly enough, so they may actually get a bit of an early cap lead. On the left-hand side, we have Flesh Hounds of Khorne applying a bit of pressure to the War Sleds, which is nice. We have the Tsar Guard, though, capping Objective 3, which is a nice play there by A-Move, as he was starting to fall a little bit behind. Furies are getting darted down now. Bears do get a nice rear attack onto the Chaos Warriors, who do turn in a blood rage, frothing at the mouth. And they do fine up against cavalry in prolonged combat, but obviously A-Move, talented tournament player, going to simple cycle charge and fall back and run away. The Light War Sleds are applying a decent amount of pressure from long range. We have Halberds rotating towards the mid, looking to claim it. As Chaos Warriors probably want to sit on that objective, I would. Just sit on Objective 1 and distract your opponent from coming in. With Armored Corsairs being summoned, we do need to see a little bit more infantry from Kislev now to make use of their dominant lead and advantage damage value-wise to try to actually get hold of some objectives. Because Tsar Guard are just vibing out on the flank. That's an expensive unit doing nothing there. Nice play, though, coming by Nerob. He does have the Flesh Hounds as well as the Chaos Furies surrounding the Light War Sleds and dragging them to pieces. The War Bears are going to go over here and help support them and save them. Looks like the Light War Sleds getting a little bit danger low there. They've done a good job all day, though. Central objective is still being claimed by Khorne, just because they have so many infantry units in here. I don't know if the Armored Corsairs are going to be too late. They need to push in. It looks like they're attempting to shoot. Yeah, they need to move into combat quickly. Oh, this is so close. Get in there, boys. But the War Sleds leave the objective, and it looks like Khorne are actually going to get the double cap here, I believe. Maybe. It's so close. There you go. The double clap has been placed. The Gambit has gone down. But Kislev are one of those factions which don't care too much about the objectives early days. They want to just get damage done and then, apply a bit of pressure when they can get Streltsy in good positions and so on. Flesh Hound's going to move out to the left-hand side. The War Bears are struggling a little bit and taking considerable damage. The Light War Sleds will be moving back. Chaos Warriors, Khorne Halberds, and the basic Chaos Warriors are moving forward to deal with the Armored Corsairs, as well as the Tsar Guard. Streltsy are continuing to fire in. Winged Lancers probably want to move up round to Objective 1 and apply a bit of pressure. With Armored Corsairs as well, who can deal with Chaos Warriors of Khorne, who are doing a really weird they're kind of going on a pilgrimage, I guess, like a spirit quest, and going up and around, and but they don't want to sit around. Come on, man. They're warriors of Khorne. They want blood and death and carnage, so they are going to be moving over to fight the enemy. Furies and Hounds get a nice old trap once again on the Light War Sleds, but there are War Bears mixed in with them, plus a pretty brutal charge coming from the Winged Lancers, counterpunched by the Flesh Hounds. But yeah, bad engagements across the board for Khorne, but still suffering on the gold value quite badly at the moment. Money-wise, Neo player is really holding back. They're all throwing everything to the wall. We have Chaos Warriors of Khorne dual weapons and Chaos Warhounds moving into the middle. They definitely want to try and get on top of this objective once again, because they have to play the objective game. There's no way they're going to play the destroy the opponent's army game at this point, having lost so many of their forces. Chaos Warriors will be able to do decent damage to the Armored Corsairs here, who are 360 no-scoping from close combat, whilst the front rank fights with their great weapons, which is pretty cool to see. Unfortunately, they abandoned Objective 1, and that's kind of emboldened A-Move to summon a unit of Winged Lancers and just push onto Objective 1, which is a very smart play. Again, Flesh Hounds to counter charge, and if Flesh Hounds get the charge on Winged Lancers, I believe they do actually win there, which is kind of scary. The dual weapons moving towards Objective 2, though it is certainly very dominated right now by the forces of Kislev. Maybe giving up on the War Sleds and not buying so many Flesh Hounds and going more infantry to hold the objectives would have been the way to go. No, they were just about to get there and they get distracted and have to charge down onto the enemy. Kislev dominates the middle, and in fact going for the treble cap here. Interesting to see who wins this, so I think the Flesh Hounds may win. They both charge each other, so they both got the charge. Looks like the Flesh Hounds are just about losing. They do get that physical resistance. I guess the unbreakability of the Winged Lancers maybe means they'll win it. We'll have to come back and find out, but it's very close, and of course I believe the Winged Lancers are more expensive. The Patriarch moves forward. We've got Tsar God on the central objective now, with Streltsy support. plus armored corsairs, and obviously war sleds bouncing around all over the place. This is going to be really hard to dislodge. If I'm Khorne right now, I'm ignoring this. I'm pushing down to objective 3 and trying to hold on to objective 1 because look at this absolute fluster like a madness to try and push in. We do have dual weapons coming in here. They do a decent job, but Zargard will also take their heads from their shoulders, particularly when encouraged by the Patriarch. We have some more warriors moving in. Objective 1 does seem like it's going to fall as well to the mighty forces of Kislev. Fleshhounds going down, a mixture of winged lancers and light war sleds, able to tear them from their homes and cap objective 1, which is good to see. We do have a sub-gold cannon back on the field again to try to maybe deal with the war sled pressure. Doesn't look like either player stacking many resources though, so it's kind of what you see is what you get. Zargard still sitting on objective 3. They've been there all day long, just vibing and having a blast. Chaos Warriors are moving up. We do get the Skull Cannon exploding a chariot on arrival. Not a bad way to do it whatsoever. And do some nice damage there in the middle. We do have a... This looks really freaking cool. This is what I want to see on, like, all objectives. Something like this, just to showcase why you're fighting over an objective. It looks really cool. Zargard duking out right now with the dual weapons, which is going to be pretty cool animations in here. They're doing a good job. There's a bit of friendly fire coming in as well. You can see the carcass of a fallen chariot down here on the ground. Luckily, I don't think we've got the bears here. So I don't know if I'd live with the dead bears. Oh, no, there's a dead horse in the middle. But yeah, very brutal fight going on in the middle. It is definitely going to be going in the favor of Kislev, who are dominating the kills right now as well. Light War Sled's going to be floating out back down to objective 3 to try to counter any push down here. Maybe hop on top of the Skull Cannon and shut it down. Fleshhounds have been summoned once more to push objective 1, but it looks like Khorne and Dan are out at this point. They're about to be triple capped. They've got less money than A-Move at the moment, and they have no army on the field. It is looking really bleak right now. And summoning hounds like this is a good play if you're clinging on and you're trying to hold on to like an objective or two. But if you've lost all 3 objectives, they're not going to be able to get you them back very easily at all. Now, the Light War Sleds having forced back. Good play up by the Skull Cannon to drive them away. But what's going to do with all this infantry? I don't think that much. Fleshhounds move out to objective 1, but with Light War Sleds plus Wing Lancers, they're probably going to deal with them quite easily. And now we have a Zargard unit moving on to the left-hand side. We have Zargard on the middle, Zargard on the right, Zargard on the left. Everywhere you look, every orifice you're going to see on your body, every time you go to sleep, you're going to see Zargard there. Wing Lancers, as well as the Light War Sleds, can probably just move into the Warhounds if they want. It looks like they're going to retreat and try to save their own skins rather than fighting for the love of Kislev. They're going to pull back and allow the Zargard to do their dirty work instead, I believe. Warbears are moving up as well. Bit of a push in the middle from Khorne. Chaos Warhounds, as well as Halberds and stuff, attempting to get onto objective 2, but Zargard have blocked their path. Big shot goes high and wide, unfortunately, from the Skull Cannon. Again, not the best long-range accuracy on this bad boy. He comes in with 566 gold of value. We have the Chaos Warhounds being active, as well as Halberds, who can move down and fight into the enemy. Looks like the Skull Cannon, yeah, been really inaccurate. Maybe actually going after the Patriarch here is quite a small target. Streltsy moving up. It looks like A-Move is pulling back some of his resources, which is a good idea. Allows him to get them onto the battlefield quicker and saves him a buck or two. Looks like the Fleshhounds are just getting jumped by the Warbears. They attempted to hold the objective. Bless them. Bless those little doggo hearts. But alas, it was all they wrote for them. We do have some Halberds coming into the middle. It looks like in the distance, yeah, still Zargard defending. And I think Nerob's going to throw in the towel there. That was game over. That was game over for sure. Justice for the ducks? Oh no, what's that? Justice for hot ducks. I don't know what's happened. It really says hot girls and boys, no discrimination. Oh, do we have a bot? Oh, hello bot. Webchat.com. I love it. Absolutely love it. Warsleds seem a tad OP in every game I've seen. Warsleds are the best unit on the roster, and that's why people bring them so much. Maybe a little overtuned, but not like crazy. It's not like they're Iron Blast level, you know. It's not like they can kill an entire army on their own. They do have counters and stuff. Well played to A-Move. He will be the Ever King. He will survive into dynasties past as an immortal king. Nerob, unfortunately, his name will fade into memory with his 1 victory. And well played to Ronin and Storm as well, who both got 2 victories each, kind of claiming the longest runs of the stream. Skull Cannon, yeah, 640 gold value. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Fleshhounds did okay. Nothing too amazing. Unfortunately, you get to see the Minotaurs in action. Kind of sucks. Yeah, nothing performed super well. 1.5 and 1.4 on the Fleshhounds. They were summoned so many times they didn't pay for themselves. Warbears, 2.4k value on them. War Sleds, 1.2, 1k, 1k, and 1.6k. Looks like the... Oh, he actually had Katarine in reserve. That's interesting. Very interesting. She only got involved in the battle at the very end. I love the Zargard and just place him on the objectives. Wing Lancers 1k value, 680 on the Streltsy, 610 on the other unit. Very nice stuff indeed. So guys, that is going to be it for the stream. That was a pretty damn awesome stream. Apologies I can't stream longer again. I'm just recovering from surgery, so there's not much I can do about that. And I probably won't stream for the next couple of days, because that was a lot tougher to stream than the stream yesterday. So I think I'm going to get rest and lay down for a while. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let us quickly get rid of this nasty bot. Cool, we got rid of them. And let's go on a cheeky raid. Let's go and see if anyone is currently streaming. Tone has a 55-second video out called Pacifist Ogres Are Overpowered, which is interesting, but I don't think he is streaming. Let's check. No, doesn't look like it. Let's tell me one through. See who is live streaming right now. And what we'll do, guys, we're going to raid. What I will do is go over there and just yell quack a load. That's how we tend to raid. Legend is streaming. Let's see if I can find a smaller YouTuber just to make their day a little bit and yell quack a load. You know what would be funny? Like Warhammer 2 stuff. Doesn't seem too interesting. Let's go Exploding Hamster. So guys, if you can do me a favor, we're going to go to Exploding Hamster stream. He is German, right? And his stream is in Germany. He's in German. So his chat won't have a clue what's going on or anything. If we just go over there and all yell quack, it'd be hilarious and stop by. He's also a very talented content creator. Does do some English content as well, so you can understand it. Light sleds are definitely over the top for 950. Heavy wall sleds are not unreasonable. Yeah, like they're maybe slightly overtuned. They're nowhere near as OP as something like Gorges, Iron Blasters. They're kind of like Lead Belchers, right? They're like really powerful. So guys, that's going to call it for the stream. Let's go raid Hamster. I will meet you over there. Let's just yell quackload and demand bread, because trust me, he's hiding in there somewhere. Appreciate all the support throughout the stream. It's been good fun time. And until next time, guys, peace. And as always, stay awesome.